Howdy, Wasteland. We're back for another episode, episode 6, and today I'm going to bring you another legend in the Fallout community, none other than one of the original Bennies out there, Nick Shelton. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Marty. I'm good. Happy to be here. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. With Christmas just around the corner, the craziness hasn't hit just yet, so we're doing good. We're shooting another episode, talking to great people. It's a blast. So I'm super excited to have you on.
I'm excited that you wanted to have me here. This is something that's new for me, so hopefully I'm entertaining for you and all the fine boys and gals out there.
Oh, I'm sure you will be. And you know, uh, I totally threw it out there without even double checking my sources. But are you one of the original Bennies out there? When it comes to when it comes to the cosplay world in the Fallout fan celebration circles, because I think you were one of the first ones that I saw. So I just want to set the record straight here.
Okay, so it's a yes and a no.
Mhm.
So Benny came up sort of late into the whole Fallout fan celebration thing when I got started with it. I was actually starting out as a Randall Clark cosplayer, which is
Mhm.
my favorite Fallout character, side story, and what have you for the entire franchise.
Mhm.
But I hosted an event out in the summer out my way here in California, and people were saying, if you're not a host, you should host the most, be Benny. And I was like, okay, let's give that a shot. And it kind of just sort of stuck. And then with the recent event just had and the pre vault party, it's official that now I have to I'm in the ground. So y'all got it to happen. You get a new Benny, everybody. So hopefully I'm a good one.
Right. No, I think everybody loves your Benny, and you just you bring the all the necessary energy to that character, and I mean that much was apparent from at least from this last Fallout fan celebration, and it's just no man, it's an excellent Benny. I, th- I
I try my best. I really do. But there's way better Bennies out there. Like I know that there's folks that look the better part, they sound the better part, and they definitely dress better. Like this isn't even the right jacket. Like this is not checker. This is like houndstooth. I can
well,
never find a checker jacket that like works.
well, I mean, it's just when it comes to cosplay, I mean, especially when you're creating one, it's never going to be perfect, right? It's like we're our own worst critics, and talking from experience, it's just that there's always that one extra layer that you just kind of want to, give it. It's we're never on time, it's never finished on time, and it's just, but you got to have fun with it. You got to roll with it. Sometimes you're just it is what it is, and you got to remember why we're doing it in the first place, right? It's to have fun with it, to entertain others, and I think it's definitely doing the job. So I wouldn't worry about it, and it's part of the fun when you're just always improving on it, and uh always just kind of taking ideas from here and there from other cosplayers, and so I think it's a great relationship to have with it.
I really do try to like put my best foot forward when it comes to any and all cosplays that I do. Now I know that the term cosplayer, at least for me,
Hmm.
I don't consider myself one in the sense that there's people that do it for a living or they're well known when they do it. When I go out to cosplay, the whole point is, can I make folks smile? Can they have a
Hmm.
good time? Are they enjoying themselves? If I can get them to do that, then that to me is the point of cosplay, to make sure
Hmm.
that everyone else is having fun because I'm the character that they either envisioned or I put a new take on a character that they never thought that they would see come into fruition. So
Right.
for me, that's what cosplay means.
And I think it's such a great mindset to have, And I can definitely see that energy radiating out of you, every time, I see you out and about. Kind of got that hype man, energy to you, and it's just so great to to have that, and it definitely shows, especially this last celebration. It was just despite the weather, betraying us, and like all these extra uh layers of logistics that had to go into it. I think you guys managed it so expertly, and I know you were running around like a headless chicken, just trying to make sure that everything works, and everything's up to par. And I think everybody had a great time. Everybody that I talked to definitely enjoyed themselves, and like I said, despite everything, it was just such a memorable one, to say the least.
That's good. That means that first and foremost, we went above and beyond and did the job that we set out to do, which is
Hmm.
always the goal, to make sure that everyone is comfortable and has fun.
Hmm.
For me, on my own personal front, even with the weather being what it was and some things hitting the fan, the show has to go on. So
Hmm.
if it meant me running around getting muddy, wet, and cold as hell, but seeing all the fine folks that either traveled a short distance, afar, flew in, drove,
Hmm.
whatever have you, to
Hmm.
come spend time with us, and I can make them enjoy every bit of it, despite all those grievances that happen, or
Hmm.
Mother Nature just being Mother Nature, then that's a win in my book. So I'm glad that everybody had a lot of positive to say.
Right, right. Yeah, and I mean, it was definitely, I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's a day or weekend of a lot of firsts every year, but especially this year, I mean, we had, Spencer, who's the co-founder of the Wild Wasteland Market. I mean, he flew in all the way from England, as did some of the other people, and uh, actually a lot of people from within those circles, it was a first for them. Some people, it was their first time on the West Coast, first time, in this sort of set, first time in the desert, and it was their first time celebration as well. So it's just like, I think it's just that much more exciting when when you can have all these firsts, in such a great company. And I mean, last year was my first time to for the Fallout fan celebration, and so I just kept hearing stories, from the first two, and it was just it was such an overwhelming experience the first time around for me. And I always tell people, if it wasn't for the pictures, that were taken, I probably wouldn't have remembered half of it, because I was just, like, dazed, and it was just like stepping into the game, and with so many people dressed up, and so many people just either being in character, or it's just the little things, the trading, the bartering, and then, we have folks like you who just, run the show and make sure that everything's absolutely perfect. And I always say that, like, because I've seen videos from the first two, attended the third, and I'm like, it's the celebration's always just badass, but it's like the year after that, it's just like you guys always raise the bar. And I didn't think it was possible, but this year, I mean, holy crap.
Oh yeah, no, there was a lot in store that even us in the inner circles didn't know about.
Mhm.
So fun fact for everyone who's gonna get to see this in the future, ooh, when it drops, the Walton Goggins thing that happened, none of us knew that that was happening. Not a single one of us knew that. So Old Man Liver and his wife, bless both of them,
Mhm.
decided to make a little surprise for all of us and contacted them and somehow convinced them to come out, which was shocking to me because I had walked into the bar as they're getting everything set up. They like moved everything out. all the bars, tables, and stools and chairs, they're just gone. And I'm
Mhm.
wondering what the hell is happening. And the door just opens up and this bunch of security guys come in. I'm like, am I supposed to be here right now? Maybe I should walk out. And as I turn to walk out, I see that legendary figure walk in with Old Man Liver, and my mouth's just agape. I'm like, ain't no effing way that's the ghoul. My modern Western hero is here. So that was really nice to have that happen. A lot of us were not expecting to have such star power. I mean, the fact that Wayne Newton already came, we thought that was going to be the hype of it.
Mhm.
And then with all the voice actors and all that, like that's what we thought it was going to be.
Mhm.
Then you get Maximus to come in, you have the other show actors, and then the ghoul himself come in, serving drinks no less to people in the bar, taking pictures, just being the nicest people throughout the entire time that we have spent there. Like they're just so happy to be there.
Mhm.
And that to me brings it all together. It's just the term family comes to mind. Like
Mhm.
it really is just feels like a big family get together. And then Granddad just shows up in an El Camino. So
I know it was just and funny you should mention that because I think it was just this morning I watched an excerpt. It was a podcast. Old Man Liver was on it, and he that's where he kind of mentioned he said that yeah none of you guys knew, you know, so and it was like how tough it was to keep that secret, you know, from the staff and everything. So yeah, that was that was surprising to find out. And you know, it's just so great that things like that can happen, you know. I mean, he worked his magic, and like you said, somehow he got all of these people, you know, to turn up. And I mean, I can tell you that I mean, when that happened, a bunch of us were standing outside the saloon. You know, by that time it was pouring rain, and we were just kind of, you know, loitering around that Amazon rad roach race exhibit that they had going on.
I had
And then all of a
that thing was
sudden,
definitely a good time.
oh yeah, and all of a sudden, you know, it's just like this thundering applause, people going absolutely crazy, and we're like, what the heck is going on? You know, and then somebody mentioned that, you know, oh, Goggins here, you know, so like, okay, like, are you kidding me? You know, and then a couple of our other friends, they were already inside the saloon, and we were constantly texting with them, you know, and we're actually about to go in. But like when that happens, you know, it was just like the hammer dropped, you know, it was like nobody coming in, nobody coming out, you know, it was just kind of like whoever's already in there, you know, like whatever's happening there is happening. And so we're just kind of getting the play by play from the people on the inside. But we did catch them, you know, when they were coming out. Goggins being Goggins, you know, just hyping the crowd up. I did see a whole bunch of videos of Aaron Moten, you know, just absolutely taking it all in, being, I think, just as starstruck as we were, you know, because like the entire the atmosphere of it, you know, he was just so over the moon that this is even happening, that this exists, you know. So it's like it's always great to see where you know, like they always tell you don't meet your heroes, but like it definitely doesn't apply in this case, in my opinion.
It does feel like when people are a part of something that at first feels so niche,
Mhm.
because I can admit as a long time Fallout fan from like the original isometric games
Mhm.
and Tactics, which is still my second favorite. I don't care what anyone says,
Mhm.
Tactics is good.
Mhm.
I see y'all in the comments right now. I don't want to hear it. And Fallout was such a niche series for so long,
Mhm.
and now that people are behind it and it has such a household power now, and you have these people that are bringing to life some of the aspects that a lot of people, whether they're old or new, enjoy about the games or the tabletop games. It feels kind of rewarding to see that they're just as big of a fan as you or I are,
Mhm.
because not only are they living it, they probably have to take it in more so than we do just
Mhm.
playing the games. They actually get to live out in the world when they're out on the screen, out on set, on location. So to
Mhm.
see Aaron just really really just go all in on that
Mhm.
and be as giddy as he was.
Mhm.
Like that struck a chord with a lot of us. It
Mhm.
just feels good to know that meeting people that are a part of the bigger scene are just as human as you or I are at the end of the day. Like they have things that
Mhm.
they care about, things that they're fans of. And it's clear that he was a fan. I mean, the moment I talked to him, he could not stop gushing about the power armor. I'm
That's
like, dog,
awesome.
I feel you. Power armor looks so good. I just want my T-51B though.
Right.
Put that in season 2 and I'm happy. That's all I want.
Uh, yeah, I mean, that's so awesome, because like, and not to throw shade on anybody else but it's just sometimes, especially some stars are, they have a way of going about it, they're enjoying the moment while they're shooting it, but it's just like they're still separating it, from their everyday life. And while they may not, kind of live that life outside of the TV show or movie or whatever, it's it's a special moment while they're doing it. And so it's like it's always refreshing to see when it just kind of spills over, so to speak, for these guys, and they're embracing it, when they're out and about, and it's just like they're just fully locked in. They're shooting the show or movie or whatever. Oh, there's this convention, or oh yeah, we're definitely hitting that up, and it's just like it continues on. So it's always refreshing to see. And I'm just so ecstatic that these guys, that's how they are, and it's just and it's so crazy because just the night before, my friends and I we were out camping, and I'm like, you know, like with how much notoriety this event is gaining, like it's gaining pretty good traction. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like next year or a couple of years from now, the stars show up. It's like not literally 12 hours
Here's
later.
hoping. Here's hoping. Like we're hoping to get that far.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're gonna top year 5. I'll say that right now. We're always looking as far ahead as we can
Mhm.
to pre-plan and prepare.
Right.
But with how this year went, and it feels like we already went over the moon,
Mhm.
now we got to shoot for fucking Mars. So hopefully we can get there. How we're gonna do it, I don't know. Personally, I like to put my money on getting Ron Perlman, but
Mhm.
it's probably need a few more years under the belt for
Right,
where we can
right.
shoot for that one.
Just get him to say that one line, and that'll be it. Like if that's all he has time for, we'll be happy. Everybody's gonna be happy.
Change is war, never has.
Oh man, that'd be so awesome. But yeah, like I don't know. From my perspective, I didn't think that year 3 would be able to be topped, and then year 4 happened. So like you said, it's always good to be shooting far and going big, and you never know what'll happen.
Yeah, definitely. It's always such a trip to look back on the humble beginnings of
Hmm.
how this whole thing started,
Hmm.
especially like where I'm at with it. To see where I'm at now, to
Hmm.
be helping out in a much more official capacity
Hmm.
and have like a team I get to work with now, and I get to do all these things and help set up and plan out like games and events for
Hmm.
not just the Vegas event, but now our newly announced West Virginia event.
Right.
It makes me wonder where my life would have been if I hadn't stumbled into the saloon 4 years ago just to take a picture in my Ranger gear out
Hmm.
front the bar doors.
Right.
Because that's how it started for me. It
Oh,
was
okay.
all accident.
So yeah, that's a great point, and like, a great segue into how all this thing started. So yeah, why don't you take us through that?
Okay. So we got to go back at least 4 years. So I was living in Vegas at the time for my job, which
Hmm.
I still work at currently. Um, and essentially, they asked if I could move out to one of the Tesla facilities
Hmm.
out in Nevada. And my sister had a house up there in a nice little neighborhood. I think it was called Crystal Spurs. And so
Okay.
I moved in with her for a bit. And the entire time I'm there, it never occurred to me that when I'm off of work, I'm playing New Vegas. And
Mhm.
it just kind of dawned on me, Good Springs is not that far from
Mhm.
where we're living. Why have I not taken the time to go visit? And I had my cosplay stuff because I had planned on going to Hoover Dam at some point to take
Mhm.
photos. So I figured let's make a day of it. Let's just go to Good Springs. So I gathered up all my cosplay crap, and then my sister and I went out to the saloon, and we got there around like 11 or 12, like
Mhm.
early on in the day. And I'm getting dressed in the parking lot. Like I'm throwing on the duster. I have the helmet, funny enough, on the bed. Like I'm getting that all together. I have like the gun belts, like the
Mhm.
works. And as I'm setting up, this couple pulls up like right next to us. Funny enough, they're from Anchorage, Alaska.
Mm.
So if that's
Oh,
not an
wow.
omen to where we're
Right.
getting now, like holy crap. They're losing their minds because they're on like a whole field trip and they are Fallout fans. And they asked if they could take a picture with me. Am I doing anything specific here? And I'm like, oh no, I'm just a big ass dork. I just came to take photos here, but sure, we can take a picture. So we do that, and then I walk inside, thinking like I'm gonna get laughed out of this little town bar because I'm
Mhm.
walking in full gear. And sure enough, the people behind the bar like cheered for me, and they're like, "Hell yeah, you're here for the Fallout room." I'm like, "Fallout room? Wait a
The
minute, what?
what?
What are you talking about?" And they walked me into the side room, which is where we have the shrine now.
Mhm.
Which back then there wasn't a lot of stuff there. They had the TV set up with their original Xbox 360,
Mhm.
and then their copy of New Vegas, which, if I remember correctly, is a copy given to them and signed by Josh Sawyer.
Okay.
So they have like one of the earliest copies
Oh, right
as
on.
it went out to market, which is just cool to think about. Like you're
Mhm.
playing on actual history right there.
That's right.
And I'm just looking around. I'm looking around the room like, oh, this is cool. You can play the game here, and it's clear that they care enough about it. Like there's some stuff here. They have a helmet. They have some memorabilia, and they have the official tape that they did behind the scenes talking about like the setup for the game.
Oh,
And
wow.
um, so it's like they really went all out, and it just felt really crazy to me to think that this town even knew about
Mhm.
this to the degree that they still kind of care and that they're happy to have like folks come in and take pictures.
Mhm.
And then that's when the moment happened. They introduced me to Old Man Liver, who was there at the time, comes out, sees me full gear, sees my sister. She's not a cosplayer. So
Uh-huh.
you have this normal ass person standing next to my dorky ass. And the first thing he says to me, which I'll never forget because it really cemented our friendship all the way to this point. So you're a dork. I'm also a dork. Want to do some dorky shit? And we just sit down. He gets me like he calls them Nuka Colas, but they were just like really big Coca Cola cups. But I'm just downing them. I'm having a good time just talking with him. And it's clear that this is a dude who really is about just having fun at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Like he has all the things that people like me never thought that I could have. And what I mean by that is I've lived most of my life being told that less is more.
Mhm.
Don't put yourself out there. Don't be weird. Just fit in.
Mhm.
And now I'm sitting across from this guy who is everything that I was told I shouldn't be. He's loud. He's out there. He's funny. He tells his jokes, and he could care less what the world has to say
Mhm.
because he wants to do what he wants to do. And those that enjoy it will flock to it. And that's what caught me in. And I started talking to him about that.
Mhm.
And then he mentions to me that we're thinking about doing a day to celebrate just Fallout New Vegas. We don't know exactly how we're going to do it, but obviously you are a Fallout fan. You should come.
Mhm.
And I told him would love to, but I probably have to fly out for work. And I tell him the day that I have to leave is the same day that he wants to have it. And what really got me into wanting to be a part of this whole thing is that he offered to let me leave my stuff there at the saloon,
Mhm.
everything I would need to fly back to California, and then to Uber me from there to the airport.
Oh, wow.
Someone he just met. And that's, first of all, the nicest shit anyone could ever do.
Mhm.
And I decided to pay that forward. I'm like, if you're serious about that, we have a couple days. Let me run around Vegas for you. I'll dress up. I'll go to some in-game locations and I'll talk about the event. Is there any info you can give me? Anything that I could share that's up on the front, on the up and up?
Mhm.
So he gives me what he can. I go to the Stratosphere. I hit the main parts of the strip. I went to Hoover Dam and I went to a cosplay bar. I believe it was called Level Up at the time.
Mhm.
Um, and I just spread the word. And I didn't think that it was going to do too much, but this guy was nice enough to offer to get me to and from the saloon to the airport to get to work the next day. Least I can do is be nice enough and make sure people come to this thing.
Right.
Little little did I expect like thousands of people would be there, not just from like Vegas, but people came from all over the states.
Mhm.
So I guess word of mouth from other people that already knew started talking about it, and then what I had done add to that just culminated into something special, a singular day event with just thousands of nerds just celebrating one game, because it started out just as the Fallout New Vegas Day
Mhm.
celebration.
Right on.
So it's just crazy to look back on it, thinking that it started just there, just accidentally.
Man, like that's such a great story. I mean, and thank you for sharing it. Just because a lot of it was apparent from the videos over the years that it was basically by fans for fans, and but it's just like it just goes to show you that um, if you don't put yourself out there, or if you just play it safe and you just kind of stay in the shadows in the corner, you never know what opportunities might just completely go over your head, and you might miss out on them. But this is such a great story, and it's just like it further highlights how great this community really is, to this day, back then, we just live in such a perfect time for it right now, in my opinion, because through social media and like the outreach is so much easier. It's I mean, the fact that you did this, literally boots on the ground, and you just ran around Vegas, spreading the spreading the good word. I mean, that's just amazing. So, I mean, that's such a great origin story, and I'm so happy that that happened, and that you had the opportunity to uh, be there in the beginning, and now you're just seeing the growth, seeing the the spread of it. I mean, the analogy that it's spreading like wildfire is not even sufficient, because I mean, we literally have people from all over the world, flocking
Yeah,
to this one saloon for a weekend, once a year.
yeah, it's just weird to really think that like you have conventions all over the place, and
Hmm.
there's some well-known ones. To
Hmm.
think that we're getting to a level to where we could say like, oh, we could consider ourselves almost like Comic Con with
Hmm.
the amount of people that are flocking into the town. To
Hmm.
me, that means that we are hitting those marks of not just putting on a good show, but breathing in goodwill to the community,
Hmm.
which is something that I take a lot of pride in. Because with all the things that I've done to help the saloon before becoming officially involved and now being officially involved, the biggest commodity you can have is goodwill,
Right.
because you want people to feel not just that they're welcomed here, but that no matter what part of the series that you enjoy, at the end of the day, you're a Fallout fan.
Hmm.
And that should be the important part, is that we're all fans. And yeah, we all got our divisive opinions and whatnot. Some of
Sure.
us like certain games, some of us don't. I'll give my hot takes when people ask. Like, I am a fan of the older games. New
Hmm.
Vegas to me was the last of the older generation, where
Hmm.
the original games really felt like they were starting to come to a head. And I wish we could see more of that in the 3D era.
Hmm.
And I enjoyed Fallout 3 to an extent.
Hmm.
Lord 76, listen, I gave him some good shots, all right? I played him a few times. I'm going to just say that. I gave it a shot.
Hmm.
Gave it a shot. Love you, Boston, though. You guys got good beer.
I mean, but you know, it you bring up some good points. I mean, one, don't knock it till you try it, and it's just like I think I think that's a perfect representation of there's something in Fallout for everyone. If you enjoy the older games, they're different. Um, I mean, I too am a fan of the isometric, style of games. I mean, I grew up playing games like uh Age of Empires and stuff like that, like these real-time strategy games. I mean,
Yeah,
I just eat that
Icewind
right up.
Dale for me.
Oh, nice. And then it's just, with every game came a different sort of look to it, different mechanics, different take on the universe, right? And uh I think that's important that with 76 being so drastically different, appealing more to the online communities, which I think they're awesome. I think it just sprouted such a great offshoot of the Fallout community where all these people are just it just highlights how much they want to take care of each other, within the game, because you have the whole aspect of helping out the newbies and the beginners and stuff like that. Again, not for everybody, because it took me a minute to get into a game like this, because when it comes to games, I'm a single player guy. I'll run through the campaign. I'll enjoy the story, because PvP for me is not a great time. I just don't have the time, to invest so much into the game where I get so good, where I can actually make something off it. So me loading up a game and dying within 3 seconds, over and over is just not an idea of fun time for me. And so I was really afraid of that happening. I didn't buy it at the beginning, and we all were intimately familiar with its rough start. And
Oh yeah.
but as the years went by, it completely transformed the game into what it is right now. And there's definitely groups out there that swear by 76. I think it's a great game. I've been getting into it, over the past year or so, because I got it pretty late last year. So I'm still pretty new to 76. And but like since then, I've had nothing but positive experience, coming from other players and their overall feel. My official gateway into the Fallout games was technically Fallout 4 when it came out, and
As was most people, so that
uh-huh.
makes sense. It's totally fine.
I did play a little bit of 3 while I was in college, but I don't remember much of that. I didn't really have a good gaming setup, and I do remember I played it. I never played the original games. I do have them, just because I don't know. I think Steam ran like a huge sale, a couple years ago, and so I got all of it, So like I'm super excited to dive into that, because that's my jam too, that kind of um, style of games. But yeah, I think I mean, depending on what Fallout 5 brings us, I think it's important to for the games to be that drastically different, just so it appeals to uh different people and different communities. But yeah, like you said, ultimately, we're all on the same team. We're Team Fallout, and so while we might give ourselves, a healthy dose of ribbing, every once in a while, it's all in good fun. And it's just that friendly rivalry kind of thing. Oh, like you're into Fallout 4, well, New Vegas is where it's at. And again,
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
rivalry will just never die.
oh, of
And
course, and
don't get me wrong, like I've taken part in it. Like I will admit my faults. I've taken part of that rivalry. But I think it's important to note that
Mhm.
in every fandom, and to me, this is a hot take, but I think it's important for people to acknowledge it's not so wrong to either dislike or flat out hate something in a series you care about,
Mhm.
but it should be from a place of construction.
Mhm.
Like there should be some merit to why you're upset with something.
Mhm.
So to all the people that are either from the Bethesda side of things or from the OG side of things, whether you like a game or not, all I'm gonna say is it's one thing to say I hate it because it sucks
Mhm.
versus I hate it because of this. Here's what I wish they would do. Here's how they could fix it, or what
Right.
I would like to see going forward. Like add something to it. Don't just hate it to hate it. Now, if you're gonna hate, be like Kendrick. Be like an all-star hater. Don't be boring about it. But a lot of you are boring about it. So
Learn to hate
that's just me.
people.
Learn to hate with passion. Vader taught us this. Come
Right.
on. Different series, I know, but there's a point there.
Right. Feel your anger.
Let the hate of this game flow through you.
Exactly. No, I totally agree. Like, don't let it turn into this malicious, straight out, bashing of the game or people. You know, f-
Oh yeah,
uh,
no, 100%. Don't just go out of your way to bash people.
right.
Like, if you're upset with people's enjoyment, we all enjoy different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all need to understand that entertainment is a case by case, individual, personal basis. What I enjoy doesn't dictate what you should enjoy.
Right.
And what you enjoy, vice versa, doesn't dictate what I should enjoy. Like, if
Exactly.
you enjoy current things that have been out for a while, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't, that's also fine. I'm not going to go to your house and kick your dog because you don't like New Vegas or Tactics.
Right.
And I hope you don't come to my house and kick my dog because I'm not the biggest fan of 4. Let's be cordial. Let's be civil, people.
Right.
Find a little middle ground we should be working at,
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more, and that's one of the reasons why I usually don't partake in online, debates or comment sections, because once I see that it just kind of, starting to snowball into something that it's not really intended to be, or once it turns political and people start attacking each other, it's like I'm out. That's not
Yeah.
that's not what I need. And like you said,
It's just too much cannon fire,
right.
Like, it's just way too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't understand why it gets to that point, especially when it comes to bringing politics into just a fun atmosphere. And
Hmm.
I get it, all out, even with the original creator saying it has nothing to do with deep politics.
Hmm.
There's still political themes in the games.
There
And I
has to
think we
be.
can all recognize that
Yeah.
there is. But that doesn't mean we need to put those real world things into vitriol, but it backfire on one another. Like,
Hmm.
whether you're left or right, like, personally, I don't give a shit. I
Yeah.
enjoy Fallout for the reasons I enjoy Fallout, which
Hmm.
is I like the Master. I like the original version of the Enclave from 2.
Hmm.
I like the Brotherhood from Tactics and what they could have been. I love the Calculator,
Hmm.
but none of that has to get to a point where it's like we're breaking down socioeconomics. Like, don't be cringe.
Yeah.
Don't be cringe, bro.
Right.
Like, just because you like the NCR doesn't mean you have to tell me how the housing market is crashing. Okay, that is so boring, bro.
But you have to pay taxes.
You need to pay taxes. So if you enjoy this game, I can talk to you about how the economics of the current United States is. Shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth. I just want to put on a cool duster with jingle, jangle, jangle in the background and carry a 6-shooter. Would you ruin this for me?
I know, right? I mean, no, 100%, 100%. And so, like I said, every time I see that, it's just, we don't need to attack each other. It's just attack each other in the game. Let's
Yeah,
all
man.
hash it out in the game.
Fight your factions in the virtual space. In the real world, at the end of the day, we're all people.
Hmm.
So you need to learn to put your differences aside to a degree, people.
Hmm.
But we're all in the same space together. So
Yeah.
whether you're at Good Springs or you're at West Virginia or any convention setting, whatever have you, you're a Fallout fan no matter what other people say.
Hmm.
So just enjoy yourself, have fun. And I mean that for the wide fan base. Yes, that means you, Legion boys. I don't care what anyone's saying. You do your thing. You wear those skirts well. Thinking about putting one on myself, actually.
Right? Those skirts. I mean,
It's so breezy, it feels good in the summer.
oh, yeah. Exactly. I was actually about to say, yeah, this past celebration wasn't a good day for a skirt.
Oh yeah, like honestly, to shout out to all the Legion folk and the boys and gals that were in all the really nice 40s and 50s attire, like especially
Hmm.
the open dresses or sundresses,
Hmm.
the kilts and whatnot. All of you were troopers. I don't
Hmm.
know how you guys were able to deal with the cold and the wet coming from someone who was in a cotton coat, just completely drenched. You know,
Hmm.
you guys are the real heroes. So shout outs to all of you. That was impressive by all accounts. And the people who were on the hill. There were people on the hill while it was storming.
Yep.
And that shit was crazy to see.
At that point, I would have, I wouldn't have just attempted to walk down. I would just slid down.
Like, oh my god, like that is an idea for next year. Just put in a giant like Flintstones looking slide
Yep.
and then just head down it. Or just stairs. I would love the stairs
Right.
one year.
Hey,
It's just not in the budget.
right. Hey, old man liver, if you listening, stairs, please.
Look, Dad, please.
Or cable
Just
car.
it's where's the cable car? We need another mountain for the cable car.
Hey, we can make it happen.
You know what? If we could get Goggins and fucking Wayne Newton, we can make this happen. Guys,
Right.
we need funding. Cable car, all right? Let's get it going.
Or let's get the British dudes that helped bring the T60 to life on the show, with the jetpacks and everything. Let's just do jetpacks rides. Let's just go all
I'll
out.
call Civil Fallout right now. Let me get him on the horn.
Yeah, there you go. While we're in the middle of doing shout outs for people, I thought it was incredibly heartwarming and just so great to see the 31st Motorized Infantry dudes just helping out, with the sandbags and all those flooded out vendors. That was just so amazing to see because no one told them to do it, but it's just like they had their headquarters set up, they were in their camp, and once that happened, it was just all
They
hands
hop
on
right
deck.
to it.
Yep.
Like they take the NCR stuff really seriously. The fact that they treat it like an actual military troop
Hmm.
is impressive to me, and I really do appreciate all the
Hmm.
things that they've done to help out throughout the years. And just the fact that they were willing to give up some of their own gear and sandbags
Hmm.
to try and prevent as much flooding as possible within Vendor Village,
Hmm.
and even digging diversion
Yeah.
trenches to move the water. Like there's a level of commitment to what you're doing,
Hmm.
and then there's a level of camaraderie and friendship and family that you
Hmm.
have in your community, and I think that's the level that those folks are at. That, like you said, no
Absolutely.
one told them to do it. They didn't have to do it,
Hmm.
but they did, and it shows. So I hope that if you guys are watching, just know that I and a lot of the folks that help with this event really do appreciate you guys. It goes a long way, and it is noticed.
Hmm.
You guys are loved.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it did get noticed. And like I said, I shout them out every chance I get. Everybody that um, has to do anything with managing and organizing this event. That is folks like you, Old Man Liver, and the rest of the staff. All the volunteers, all the like everybody that just makes this event so memorable and so unforgettable. It's just my hats off to you guys.
See, when it comes to me, I'm just a dude who gave his time for the last couple years just because I don't want anything out of this. I care about the game and I care about the community, and more importantly, above all else, I just care about Good Springs. So
Hmm.
for me, I'm just a small cog that at the end of the day helped get this thing going, but there are so many other people that deserve way more appreciation and attention than I do. And folks like Old Man Liver, obviously, we have Chipmunk. Without him, I would not have the confidence
Hmm.
to do what I do for this event, to be as outspoken as I am.
Hmm.
And then we have Vault Girl Blues, Powder
Right.
Banger, and Nova Rune Cosplay. Like those three. Without those three in particular, working with Liver as close as they do,
Hmm.
none of what we have now would be a thing. So they're the actual heroes. And the fact that they allow me to be a part of it
Hmm.
means a lot to me. but they're the people you guys should be thanking the most because they're the brains.
I
They're the
agree.
ones you want to be
Well,
loving.
I think you don't give yourself enough credit, but I definitely do get what you're saying. Those, I mean, they're amazing. And Vault Girl Blues and Nova and cosplay. I mean, they just moved there too, not too long ago, right? So they're just like
Yeah, like
on the
they get
scene.
to live it.
Yeah.
They get to enjoy the whole thing. I keep losing my mind every time I have my cabin rented out there. I walk out front and I'll just see Ben just hanging out there, just outside doing his thing. I'm like, oh yeah, we're technically neighbors for a
Yeah.
weekend. That's neat.
I mean, he's just so amazing. I got to talk to him for a little bit. I mean, he was, just so busy, but I do appreciate that he came out, and then he looked me up in the crowd and that we got to chat a little bit. But he was just so busy, like in the kitchen and running things and whatnot. I asked him if he even, got to slip into the armor. He was like, "No, man, like that's what it takes, to manage this thing." But he was so happy to do it, and I mean that's just again, the level of commitment to make this thing work and to make it what it is. That's just what it takes. But I mean, it's so greatly appreciated. I think it was just this morning. I think he shared a story on his Instagram or whatever that it was like what 31 degrees or something. It was like winter's here, you know.
Like
Yeah.
Ben is definitely someone who, since the beginning, I have recognized as a pillar of the community. Like he
Hmm.
is one of the one of the backbones
Hmm.
that keeps this whole thing standing strong and tall. Like
Right.
without him, I feel as if we wouldn't be as well off as we are because you need someone who is willing to throw themselves into the fire and get things working when things end up going awry or astray. And he's always that first person to do what needs to be done, even if
Hmm.
it's the hardest.
Hmm.
And so he's one of my other inspirations to be as positive and helpful to this community as I can be. And every time I'm there, I always try to be at Good Springs early, like at
Hmm.
least a few days. I head there and I try to help them either unload trucks, get
Hmm.
things set up, clean off tables, work on some of the tech, whatever they need.
Hmm.
And it's because of folks like him,
Hmm.
because he could be having fun. He could be cosplaying and running around in that amazing Enclave power armor,
Oh, I love
but
that.
he decides to take a back seat and just
Right.
make sure things run.
Right.
So
And it definitely
it's
shows. It definitely
yeah.
shows, and I think, like you said, he definitely understands, what it takes to make a great show. And yeah, like for someone like him, who I mean, he's obviously, a great uh prop maker, or that armor of his, I mean, is just out of this world. Last year I got to take a picture with him, and it was just like every chance I get, like I still share that picture, it was just that amazing. And to put that aside, because he's looking into the future of this event, and he makes sure that it runs smoothly. I mean, it's just so admirable, and that's something that nobody's ever going to forget that.
Oh, 100%. And if folks ever somehow do, I'm reminding them because he's definitely one of those guys that from the beginning does more than what's needed.
Hmm.
And that's always going to be what matters the most to a lot of us is that you have folks like that that care to such a degree that they will make sure that things go on no matter the cost, even
Hmm.
at their own sanity, if
Hmm.
it means making sure that people are having fun. Because I
Right.
know it's got to be stressful. So,
Oh,
Ben,
for
if you
sure.
see this, just know, dude, that you are one of the big reasons that I want to try and be better in this community and try to make sure folks have fun because of people like you, dude.
I mean, like I don't have that kind of insight, but so from an outsider's perspective, it's like whatever you guys are doing, Ben and Vault Girl Blues. I mean, like all the work is showing. All the work is manifested through the final product, which is the celebration as we know it. And we just can't thank you enough for that. That for couple days out of the year, we can all just come together and have this amazing event and just enjoy what we all love and what we all enjoy to do, be it cosplaying, or just being just being part of it. Just step into the town, for those 2 or now 3 days. The town is completely transformed, into uh, you know, scenes from the Fallout universe. And it's like if you don't even cosplay, if you're not into it, but like I can't imagine, how many people got convinced, or that little light bulb or that little switch turned on in their heads. There's like, you know what? Like next year, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna give it a try, and I'm gonna cosplay or something or someone, And it's just,
I wouldn't be surprised if we see that number grow
oh,
because of that. Like
right.
so many people doubt the power of just nerddom, just having nerdy fun to such a degree like that. When you see it in action, something just hits you in your heartstrings. You're like, okay, I want to have fun like this. I want to be a part of this.
You
Like, you don't
need
even have
to
to
nerd
cosplay to enjoy
out.
it. Exactly. Just folks, we've been saying it since the 90s, but no one wanted to listen. And now here we are, 2025, and now we're listening. I'm just saying.
Yep. Hey,
I'm saying it.
It's cool to be nerds. Like we have bona fide jocks that are nerds also. Look at Joe Manganiello. Look at Henry Cavill. Like they are nerds.
Cavill for sure.
They're nerds.
Cavill's my hero in this nerd department. That man. God, if I ever find out that he's a Fallout fan, I'm gonna sell my soul to get him to show up. You know no
what?
Idea.
You know who else we need to get into this? Sam freaking Witwer.
Dog, if we get Sam,
I got to talk to him at Level Up. He's a major. He's an OG Fallout fan. Like he played all the games from the original games. He's like, how come you're not in Fallout in any official capacity? It's like, I've been trying.
It's the same thing with like Mark Meer. Like I always underestimate because I know him from I'm trying to remember the Mass Effect,
right?
From the Mass Effect series. And it turns out that just like that, he's a huge Fallout guy. To the point where he got to work with the storyteller and making a mod for 4, going over the origins of the Brotherhood of Steel and the first Elder Maxid. And then it turns out he was at the event, which I didn't even know until I bumped into him in his tabletop ghoul cosplay. And I'm like, are you Mark Meer? He's like, maybe. Are you a fan? If I say yes and I fangirl, are you going to be okay? And, I get just hang out with Mark Meer. It's getting to see these folks in the same capacity as like everyday people, like enjoying what you enjoy on the regular. I don't know. There's something special about it, and I would love to see more of these people come in and just enjoy it. Like I know, I don't remember the actor's name off rip, but he was in Breaking Bad. He played Jesse. He's definitely a Fallout guy.
Oh, Aaron Paul.
If I would give my heart and soul to get Aaron to show up, I would give everything for Aaron to show up. He doesn't have to do anything. I just want to have fun. Just have the sweet baby here, please. Let's make it happen.
I'm a Fallout fan, bitch.
Mr. White, we gotta fix the water chip, bitch.
Stacking fat stacks.
Yeah, fat chips, bro.
Man, that'd be awesome. Well, yeah, because he was at the season 1 premiere. He was at the season 2, I think. Yeah, in Australia.
Was there.
Right.
I don't know if he was there just to see it or if there's more of an official capacity that he's involved. But either way, he was there. And it's clear that he's one of those guys that, I don't want to say infatuated. I don't know the level of like Fallout he's like into. But it's clear that he's into it.
Yeah.
It makes me think of like back in the day where like the OG Benny got to become Benny for real, as he was such a big Fallout fan, and he did nothing but promote Fallout 1, 2, and 3 every time he was on air. So I'm hoping Aaron gets that same treatment. Like I feel like he would do such a great job, especially with all his recent works. I think he would
Right.
be fantastic in a voice role for one of the games.
Oh, I think so too. Watch, he's gonna come out in season 2 and like one of the major, players or major characters. I'm gonna lose my shit.
He's just Courier 6, just
Right?
chilling out.
Oh man.
Oh man,
Well,
it would be such a good time to see that.
so speaking of that, we kind of touched on it a couple times, but when it comes to season 2, so I've been seeing all over social media that they've announced that they're not going to canonize any of the endings from Fallout New Vegas. So how do you feel about that? Or like, what are your expectations for season 2, knowing this fact and knowing the treatment of season 1, where I mean they stuck to the lore, pretty well while introducing, new stuff and new things, new characters and whatnot. Like, what do you think of season 2? How season 2 is going to go?
So before I touch on the non-canonized endings,
Mhm.
my thoughts for season 2, from what I've seen, it does seem a lot more compared to what I saw in season 1. Not saying that season 1 didn't do a good job of touching up on things in the lore. There's a
Mhm.
few things that happen in season 1 that are just like iffy to me,
Mhm.
but what isn't in a fandom?
Right.
Season 2, from what I've seen, it feels like everything I wanted for a follow-up to New Vegas. Like the
Mhm.
the entire theme is there, the feeling is there,
Mhm.
and I'm hoping the grit is there with it.
Mhm.
And it also seems that there's a lot more love and detail put into things like the strip from what they showcased
Uh-huh.
from the trailers of late. Because originally, when they showed New Vegas at the end of the first season,
Mhm.
I'll be completely transparent with you. I was scared as shit because
Uh-huh.
it's like the strip is in disarray. Okay,
Right.
so what's going through my mind right now? Did the cloud from the Sierra Madre come through? Did the tunnelers end up doing a thing, or is this just a way to move past New Vegas? Like
Mhm.
we're not going to know what happened. But
Mhm.
then seeing the trailers that Vegas is still operating in some capacity, and as of right now, unless the trailers are trying to do a misdirect with the ghoul being in front of Mr. House's TV screen and him
Mhm.
actually being on the screen, we don't know if he's alive or dead yet. I treat
Right.
this as Schrodinger's cat. Until
Mhm.
we see it, until the box is opened,
Right.
it is a 50-50 shot.
It's a good
But it
way of looking
seems
at
as
it.
if, yeah, I don't want to go in with too many expectations. I
Mhm.
want it to be good, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, first and foremost, I want it to just be as well written and well received as the game is.
Mhm.
And I can see that there's a lot of heart being put into it. It looks like there's a lot of care. When I saw the Legion in the trailer,
Hmm.
that's what shocked me the most because, first of all, we don't get enough tribal anything
Mhm.
in current Fallout. I'm brave enough to admit that. Like,
Mhm.
we really don't get enough tribal culture and established tribes or even minor tribes within the current games and settings.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping going forward after season 2, if we get to see a lot more Legion content, that will fix that issue and we'll finally get more things with tribes. I
Mhm.
think that's such an underutilized thing in Fallout. Like it needs to be used more.
Mhm.
I don't want it to get blown out of proportion,
Right.
but I think it's a strong suit. So I think season 2 will do well, but I think it's going to be divisive, which leads into the non-canonized endings, not picking one.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to straight up say it. I don't think that's a good choice on the grounds of you're going to piss off people no matter what.
Mhm.
That's how fandoms work. You're
Yeah.
going to make some people mad. You're going to step on some toes. I think committing to an ending and canonizing one doesn't take away from anything.
Mhm.
Like you could still enjoy your playthroughs and whatnot. It just deepens the story of what goes down further on into Fallout. I mean, Fallout 3 and beyond doesn't happen unless Fallout 1's canon ending happens and then
Right.
Fallout 2's canon ending happens. A lot of things in New Vegas don't happen if stuff in Fallout 1 and 2 and Tactics don't happen.
True.
There needs to be some pathway that you can lead to. Does it need to be 100% canonized? Absolutely not.
Mhm.
But I would say a good 70 to 80%.
Mhm.
That should be the goal. Do you have to state outright who won? No, but you can hint towards it.
Right.
Not picking a side either way
Leave a back
feels,
door open.
yeah, like there should be something. Like, I can have imagination with it, but
Mhm.
I would like to know if the choices that I personally made are the ones that ended up happening for the Mojave.
Mhm.
And then same thing going down the road. What if we get to see the Capital Wasteland down the line? I would like to know what happened with the Lone Wanderer, and what
Mhm.
happened with the Brotherhood out that way. What
Mhm.
happened to Lions and whatnot?
Right.
Like, you have to be able to establish things that are in a straight flow timeline.
Right.
I don't want like a COD zombies thing happening where it's just like, well, there's this and this, and then diverts here, and
Right.
you just do, you're all over the place.
Yeah.
Just pick a road.
Yeah. I too thought that that choice that oh, we're not going to do any of the canonized endings was a bold one, and a weird one at that. And I mean, as of right now, like we don't even know if it's 100%, what's going to happen. But it's just
Yeah.
I've seen it pop out, on more than one occasion, and it's just it kind of makes you think. And like you said, with role playing games, I mean, where the choice is yours. I mean, it's obvious that's one of the greatest challenges, right? When it comes to adapting it for live action. But uh, season one, they kind of dodged it, where they set it 10 years after the events of Fallout 4, and they didn't really address uh, any of what happens per se in Fallout 4 or any of the previous games, just because they introduced a lot of the new stuff, just kind of like um a story that's just kind of floating around. We're following a vault that we've never heard of, with people inside that we've never heard of. We never heard of the ghoul before, but I think I was talking about this particular aspect of it on the last episode, where season one was basically a proof of concept. We're just going to see what works, what we can do. There was a whole lot of stuff that we didn't see, but now with what the teaser and two trailers for season two, I mean, it's apparent that, they're going to show us things like, the Death Claw. And I mean, obviously, there's going to be a bigger NCR presence, as there should be. Now we know that
Hmm.
the Legion is going to be in it, to some capacity. So I think they're just now they blew the doors wide open, so there's going to be a lot more, that they're going to do with it. And I'm just hoping that I mean, I'm fairly positive that it's going to be very well received. But yeah, my number one question would be, about the endings, because like now you kind of have to tie it in to the games a little more, a little better, with a little bit more finesse. You can't be the floater anymore, because
Yeah.
it's just I think it was at the end of season one, or in one of the post credit scenes, where you see, the strips in disarray and crashed vertibirds. So there was some sort of a battle. I mean, is it Brotherhood of Steel, or something? Like some sort of a battle happened. Now with season two trailers, we see that the Brotherhood of Steel itself is going to be in conflict. Like what factions of that organization is going to be, warring among themselves, which I love, by the way. Like I always love a
Yeah.
good conflict. And so it's definitely going to be an interesting take. And I think, I mean, I have full confidence, in the writers and the producers, that they're going to do a good job, and the treatment of New Vegas is going to go according to plan. But I mean, I don't know. I just can't wait for it.
There's a lot that I'm hoping to see as well. I'm usually not a big Brotherhood person, but I
Mhm.
think, to be completely transparent and fair, for the last couple of games, the Brotherhood gets showcased and favorited a lot.
I
So I
agree.
do feel like that faction does get a little too much exposure.
Hmm.
And I understand I like to attribute it to what I call the Iron Man effect,
Yeah.
where you have such a face of a IP or a brand. Like it's
Mhm.
easily recognizable, and
Mhm.
you want to market it as much as you can.
Mhm.
And I feel as if with this is the direction I want to see it in, because now we get to see the Brotherhood not just be this full frontal power like they've been in the last couple of games. Now they're going to be fighting with one another, which
Mhm.
opens up avenues to things that I thought I'd never get to see. First and foremost, we might finally get Fallouts down the line where the Brotherhood, just like in New Vegas, isn't the biggest player on the block, not the
Right.
biggest fish in the pond. That would be nice to finally see that happen, to have them take a back seat and maybe put either older factions we haven't seen a lot of, or factions that need more love, or newer factions
Mhm.
start making their way to the forefront.
Mhm.
But more importantly, I like that the possibility of the West Coast chapters and the East Coast chapters finally butting heads,
Mhm.
something that I think definitely needs to happen at some point
I agree.
in Fallout's like timeline. They don't see eye to eye.
Mhm.
And I hope that season 2 is what that's going to be. Like maybe the West Coast is, they don't care what Maxon has done.
Mhm.
They're just tired of them expanding outward into what they perceive to be their territory. Or
Right.
maybe they might touch up on the fact that they're a little bit, 1940ish, if you know what
Mhm.
I mean.
Mhm.
So maybe they're not okay with them doing all of that. I hope that it leads somewhere. But that's just me and my hopes for the BOS as a whole.
Right. No, I definitely agree because I mean throughout the game line and everything, the Brotherhood is probably the number one faction that just gets put on the pedestal, the most. And so I
Oh
understand.
yeah, 100%.
And it's just like you calling it the Iron Man effect. I mean, that's a great analogy, because like it is badass. You do want to see all the power armor and everything, and it's just like it's so hard to resist, to put that on the screen. And now, with today's technology, you can make it so believable. I mean, what is it like? Like the entire suit is basically practical, minus
Yeah,
the
like
the
all
the closing and
practical
opening.
effects.
Yeah, so
Yeah, which is impressive.
it
And I
is.
love that they have that attention to detail.
Hmm.
So to the point that they brought to life, which I thought would be the hardest aspect that the original games bring up in 4, to which I can give this much credit in 4's regard to power armor,
Hmm.
the feeling of a mobile tank.
Hmm.
Like it really gives off that iota of strength and power. Like this is not a suit you're wearing; it's a machine that you
Right.
have to be able to pilot.
Well, because
But
it weighs like what, 1,000 pounds or something like that
I
in
believe so. I
lore.
think it varies from like suit to suit.
Right.
Like each one is different. I believe the heaviest one, lore wise, is either the Advance Mark II power armor from the Enclave,
Hmm.
or it is the one that the CIA uses that was introduced in '76. I believe that's Hellcat. I
Hmm.
could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's one of the heaviest.
Hmm. Yeah, the Hellcat looks pretty badass.
I do like the visor. I'm not like a whole power armor like piece swapping guy, but I will admit that
Hmm.
helmet looks, it's fucking clean.
Hmm. But yeah, back to the factions. I think I was this is more in regards to the games, but I think I was talking to that Fallout guy. He brought up a good point where he feels like the newest installation, be it Fallout 5 or whatever comes next, should kind of, move away from the family member looking for another family member kind of, storyline.
Yes,
It's just we've
dog.
seen way too much of that, and I
I
wholeheartly
been
agree.
saying that for years. For years, I've been saying that, and everyone's just like, "You're just a hater. You're just a hater." It's like I'm gonna stand up for this one, okay, folks.
This is how
Hear
you
me
hate
out.
folks.
Hear, hear me out, okay? I have zero issue with the family member trope. My issue is when you've seen it 3 games in a row. Don't believe me? Fallout 3. You're a son or a daughter looking for your dad. Fallout 4. Mom or dad looking for their son. What, 76? You're looking for your overseer. What's the overseer feel like? Your goddamn parent. I want something new. I get you want to use vaults and whatnot.
Hmm.
There's more interesting ways to use vaults and vault dwellers.
Hmm.
I just think the family trope has overstayed its welcome. I'm not shitting on it for anyone who enjoys it. Love what you love. But it's time for a change, guys. It's time for a delightful change. And I think that change should be, and I think this is a little divisive, but we either need to get back to folks that live in the wasteland,
Hmm.
or, and I think this would be a better way to do it, you need to touch up on things that you wouldn't expect to see from Fallout from a storytelling perspective. Maybe give us someone who's a little more effed up, maybe a raider, someone
Hmm.
who's in like a bigger culture of things that we don't deem culturally okay. I would think that'd be a great avenue for storytelling. That opens up a lot of doors, a lot of avenues. Just
Oh.
don't give me the fact that they're looking for the goddamn parent or kids. I will lose it. Lucy's already doing it, so technically we've had it 4 times.
That's right.
I love you, Ellie Purnell. Yeah, just in case you somehow see this, I love you. There's
Right.
nothing against you. You're a sweet person.
I do agree. I mean, I do love the fact that we kind of explore the fact that that she's looking for her father, but that got resolved, right? Like, I mean, she's gonna be looking for him in season 2, but it's gonna be there's different
Like a confrontation.
yeah, there's different motivation behind that for sure. But
which I think is nice. Like, it's a little different.
yeah,
It's still the same trope at the end of the day, but at least it's not that factor of like, why did you leave?
right,
Or like, where were you when I expected you to find me after all this time?
right.
You know, like,
Because now our
it's
bad guy
good
got
enough.
flip flopped, right? So now our ghoul was the anti-hero or whatever, but he's not a bad guy per se anymore. So now her dad's going to be probably the main bad guy, depending on where House figures in the situation. But so we just kind of, because you always have to have a main guy, right? A main bad guy. And
Yeah, either that or you need a force that is built up
mhm,
in the background. So if
right.
they're willing to do that, which I think they are, like, I'm gonna call it that this season might touch up on some things that are happening with the Brotherhood, and that's gonna
Hmm.
open up the door for the Enclave.
Hmm.
Because the Enclave was showcased in season 1 to a very
Yeah,
small degree.
they got mentioned.
And
Yep.
I do think that that's another faction that gets a little bit too much attention still. Like, I think that they had their story played out in 2.
Hmm.
And even though 3 kind of brought them back and it kind of worked out,
Hmm.
I feel as if you're going to bring them back, you have to have them kind of kick the door in somehow.
Hmm.
So I personally think the Civil War that we're going to hopefully see will be that entry point for the Enclave to kind of start kicking ass. And maybe that's going to lead into more shenanigans.
Right, right.
So that would be nice.
I do agree that we need to see more from, those either like more clandestine, factions or just the factions that we haven't really seen more of, like you said, like the Raiders or whatever. But like, I would love to see, like what keeps them going, besides just the pure fact that they just raid, and they're because
Yeah.
they have to be governed by something or someone, to some degree. I mean, we see it throughout the games, like where you have the different clans or whatever. Like in 4, we when they introduced the nuclear world, that like there's two more raider factions, and they're governed by what's his name.
Like,
uh
like an overboss.
yeah, yeah. So something like that. Give me the everyday life of a raider clan, or something like that, and how 'cause-
Like, how do they function? Like, what's their culture?
yeah,
What
yeah.
drives them outside of just murder, killing, and drugs? Because
Because
there's more to it. I know there's more
for
to it.
sure. They're not going to be sticking to just that. They're just a bunch of dirty, dirt bags. Where it's just
Bunch of bums.
they have motivations of their own, where they just kind of do, just kind of backdoor deals on each other, and stuff like that. So like, give me more of that for sure. And I'm not
Oh,
saying
I
that
100% agree.
I'm not saying, like put freaking more Nuka-Cola Nuka World in season 3 because
Yeah, just more brand recognition.
yeah, and hey, you never know. Maybe sort of Nuka Boy or whatever is gonna make it into the later seasons. And I'm here for it. You know, like
Oh,
there's already one that exists.
gets his own spin-off series.
Hey, I don't care if I just, stand in the corner somehow or somewhere, just lurking in the background. Hey,
I do think that Raiders as a whole would be nice to see more in terms of what their role is in the Wasteland outside of just basic raiding parties, because you have like your basic raiders, your unnamed ones, and then you have actual factions and clans. And I do think you brought up a great point that the clandestine clan should be something that gets a little bit more focus. Like the Fiends get mentioned in season 1, which first of all, for some reason they're in California.
right.
I felt like that was just a way to be like, oh, remember berries, remember this? I know you remember this, New Vegas boys.
Fan service.
But it would be cool to see, yeah, like the fan service is there and it's like a little hamstrung. But if I get to see where they're going at with it, like what drives them and where they're at now, how they're currently functioning, that would be the right kick in the pants. I think that's something that doesn't get touched up on in a lot of media that I enjoy, is where you get to see these opposing ideologies and whatnot, but you don't get to really see the backbone of them, what drives them, how they get to where they're at, like why they do what they do. Is there a purpose?
Right.
I want more of that.
Yeah, because like up to now, they're more of the depiction of the Raiders is just like the scavengers, the cockroaches, like just the people that just kind of fill in the blanks, and whether it's if you have a power vacuum somewhere, you have a Raider faction that just kind of fills it. But even then, like you kind of assume that that they have to be operating under some sort of a directive, because like you don't just like anarchy doesn't exist, because like sooner or later somebody takes over, and takes direction and oversees,
like runs it.
Runs it. It's just anarchy doesn't really work, and not for too long.
We're gonna see that with the Legion. They have to have somebody in charge.
Exactly.
So if you could do it there, let's do it with some of these other groups. Let's get that moving, Amazon. Let's get it going.
Yeah. And so, but I mean, season 3 has been green lit, and so there's hope. And I think, I mean, they're what? They're thinking at least 5 seasons, 4 or 5 seasons. Like that's where it's kind of.
I think it was
going?
a total of 5,
right?
From what they confirmed, which I like the idea they're looking towards the future. Like they see a bright spot with this, and that they can make more. I think from a creator standpoint, and from someone who really enjoys film, television, and storytelling as a whole, looking too far before you've really gotten off of your feet to run could be a problem.
Right.
So I hope that it doesn't turn into a thing where it's just about, well, the name will carry us. I hope the writing showcases in that there are either continued plot points or new plot points and new things introduced, or they touch upon things that we didn't think would get proper attention. I just don't want it to turn into, I don't really know how to compare it. There's not a series I can think of currently like that. I guess maybe like a lot of what I've seen from Star Wars feels like that, where, well, it's Star Wars, so you're going to see it. Right. And then you have some of those bright spots like Rogue One was really good and whatnot. So I don't want that situation.
Right.
I guess that's what I'm saying.
And I think what helps with that is to have an end goal in mind. You have to have an ending in mind so you can drive towards it. And whatever road you take it, and however much convoluted it is, it doesn't matter, because that's what makes your story. But you have to have an idea of where you're going. And I think if you have that, you're going to have a successful project, successful show. And I mean, I'm not sure, like not much has been discussed or released for obvious reasons. But I mean, so far, I think the majority of people likes the direction that the show is definitely going. So
I've had a good time with it. Like even with my minor nitpicks, and I'll call them nitpicks. I feel like maybe I'm fanboying a little too hard when it came to season 1. As a whole, I enjoyed season 1.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to see where season 2 is going to go, but I do keep my reservations
Mhm.
because you don't want to be blinded too much with what you love. That's
Right.
how you get with what's happening with Pokemon. That's right, Nintendo. I see you. I see what you're doing. Cut it out.
Well, yeah, and it's just like it's navigating that balance of fan service and sticking to the lore, right? Like it's like we all love, the Easter eggs and love seeing, that name shouted out or whatever. But it's like there comes a point where it can become too much. Is it just a conglomerate, of fan service? It's just like, okay, well, like, it's great. It's great to see it in live action, but like we know what's going on. We've seen that in the games. We've seen that, in every shape or form already. Uh, I think story is, the key here, and as long as they can stick to that, it like will be golden.
Yeah, I agree that so long as their end goal is within sight and they don't lose track of that, I think they'll be just fine. I
Hmm.
would say the best way to go about it, look at it from how Breaking Bad did it, is
Hmm.
they told the story they wanted to tell. And
Hmm.
then when it ended, that was it. It ended.
Hmm.
There's nothing more to tell with Breaking Bad. And I
Right.
hope Fallout, for at least for the show standpoint, has that happen to where they tell the stories they want to tell, and then when it's time for them to end, they end. We don't get a, well, somehow Palpatine has returned situation. We don't want that. Just tell a good story, be
Hmm.
confident,
Hmm.
and just believe in your ending. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Believe in your ending.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. And there's always games where you can just explore new avenues or whatever, and it doesn't have to be related to the show wherever you end it. It can again be its own thing. It can call back to it, but I don't think that we should necessarily connect all the dots, weave everything together, because in my opinion that uh oftentimes makes the universe small, right? Like if you connect everything together, it's just like, and again, I think Star Wars kind of suffers from that from time to time, where it's just like you have this vast galaxy, and somehow like you're connecting way too many dots, where it's just like everybody always meets, and I'm like, it should be such a great, grand place. Like it's fine to have different stories that never ever, connect. And
Yeah.
uh,
Like they can exist in the
yeah,
same bubble, but they don't ever touch. And I
right.
think that's something that's lost in storytelling is that
Mhm.
I hate admitting this because I'm like a big comic book guy, but I
Mhm.
have to admit that Marvel kind of ruined the soup for us on that because
Mhm.
with the introduction of an interconnected universe of
Mhm.
things like that you can do for film and television,
Mhm.
everybody wants to get in on that pot and you want to connect as much as you can. And
Right.
I, like you said, with Star Wars, it suffers in that vein because now you're trying to connect so much together, or you want to call back to too many things, and
Mhm.
now you have this mismatch instead of it just flowing.
Mhm.
Like it should just be, it can intertwine, it can pass, but
Mhm.
at the end, they're still separate. They're their
Right.
own things.
And I
And I hope
wonder.
that,
Go ahead.
not go, no, no, you go ahead. It's your show. It's your show.
Oh, no, like anytime. I mean, you're the guest, so no worries there. But I just no, I quickly wanted to mention. I wonder if that happens because they're trying to appeal to people that are not familiar or are not privy to the lore or to the rest of it, so if they're going in fresh with say like with this show, we I wonder if the thinking is, well, we want everybody to enjoy it despite the fact that they might be Fallout fans or Star Wars fans or whatever. Like they want everybody to enjoy it. But it's just like, and I get that, but again, balance, right? Because
Yeah.
because then it just, if you don't, keep your fans in mind, it just becomes this melting pot of something that, is gonna look and sound cool to, to the uninitiated, or the new guy, the new fan, but it's like it's not really gonna make much of a sense, to the OGs, or to the fans, or to the people steeped in the lore. So it's just, again, I think it's all about balance.
I agree that it should be about balance. And you brought up an excellent point, which I think to cover quickly is that a lot of series, a lot of either long running series or things that are coming off of the ground, even if you have a fan base, they're always trying to appeal to the wider audience. Like they
Mhm.
want to appeal to, I hate to use the term normie, but they want to appeal to all the normies and normal folks out there, folks that don't just sit down and enjoy or know the deeper machinations or inner
Mhm.
workings of what it is in front of them,
Mhm.
which to a degree is okay. I have no issue with just new folks and folks that don't normally entertain with the medium coming in.
Right.
But I've seen too many series I care a lot about fall apart because now you're trying to integrate everybody and
Mhm.
everything. And there needs to come a time where you need to put your foot down
Mhm.
and just say, hey, the fandom is what built this. So while we can bring some people in, we're going to keep the door open so the fans can still be the main centerpiece. And I know that that's a bold thing to say in the current market of fandoms and entertainment, but I think folks seem to forget that while it's cool to have more people enjoy what's been around, there's a reason it's called fandom because
Yeah.
there are long running fans that built the series up. Because without fans, without people that enjoy what you're putting out there, you're not gonna exist. Like great example, I love the Deadpool movies,
Mhm.
and those movies would not have happened without the fans.
Right.
If the footage never got leaked out and the fans didn't put it in an uproar, we wouldn't have that trilogy of films.
Mhm.
Fans make things happen. So enjoy if you're new to it, but understand that there should be an even walkway for you and those of old. And it
Right.
should be you're coming in and out, coming in and out.
I agree, because I mean, essentially, fandom is the heartbeat of, the the project, right? Because, like, who are you making it for? I mean,
Yeah.
even if you're creating something new, like, you're creating it with a fandom in mind, a fandom that you might be creating, or trying to grow, or whatnot. And it's just, again, so refreshing to see that, the writers and producers of the Fallout series are definitely mindful of that. And it's, I mean, a lot of them, if not all of them, being Fallout fans themselves, that either play the games, or are just fully steeped in the lore and the universe, and it shows. I mean, it shows. I mean, just look at the Emmy nominations. I mean, what was it, like
Yeah.
17, 18 for season
Like
one? So
like at least.
yeah.
And it showcases that they care a lot. And
Hmm.
even if there's those rare cases where like even if the people involved are not fans themselves to a degree, like I know a lot of people right now we're talking about it online how Walton he stated he's not interested in playing the games
Hmm.
at any point. And I don't think that detracts from what he's presented because it's clear that he created a character that he wants to showcase
Hmm.
and fits in the world.
Right.
So you could be a part of a fandom without being super deep within its roots,
Hmm.
so long as what you bring to the table is well received or it goes over everybody. And
Hmm.
now everybody wants to be that thing. Like I remember when the show first launched and then we had that event following up. You know how many the ghoul cosplays I
Oh
saw
yeah.
that year?
Oh yeah.
So it just proves that fandom can be at any point, and it is the heart blood, but you could also be like brand spanking new and know not a damn thing
Hmm.
and still bring something to the table. And on the flip side, you could be like Ellie Purnell who's actively playing the game. I don't know
Right.
which one she's played, but
I
she's
think she
gone
played
on record
4.
saying, I believe so. And she made it apparent that her whole character is a charismatic, like, let's talk it out type of
Mhm.
build. And it showcases in her performance.
Mhm.
So you can have fans like that, or you can have fans like Goggins who, at the end of the day, are still bringing something to the table.
Mhm. Absolutely. I mean, I just remember vividly when I first watched it. I'm like, if if it had, the little dialogue, the captions, I'm like, it feels just like the game. Just like from world building to all the aesthetics to the dialogue between characters, it just like you almost want to click that button, to make the choice or whatever. It's just it brings that out of the show so much, at least for me, and it was just so greatly executed that I mean, it just gave me such hope, for game adaptations, going forward, that this is in fact possible. But like we talked about all this time, you have to care and you have to keep the fans in mind and you have to understand the lore behind it. As long as you do that, you're going to end up with a great project.
Yeah. Like there should be that well received balance of what people of the medium you're trying to adapt to the silver screen or big screen want to see,
Hmm.
and what works in terms of the medium that you're trying to already bring it towards. Like there are
Hmm.
things that work for television and film that don't work in games, and vice versa. Things that work in games that don't work for a live acting medium.
Hmm.
And I think they do have that balance. And so long as they continue to do that, I'm not worried for the show in any high regard. I'll always have my reservations, but that's like such a 5 or 10%
Hmm.
versus the 90% of faith I have of what I've seen and what they've presented.
Right, right. And I think it's a healthy thing to do. It's just like at the end of the day, like we still need to have a discussion, and a healthy discussion, where you just kind of
Yeah,
analyze, the crap out of it. It just keeps the conversation going. And if you have a production that in fact does listen to the fans, then you can tweak it, you can improve on it, and you can raise, the level of success ever so higher, if this discussion takes place. So yeah, I mean, nothing is perfect, but they're pretty damn close to it.
exactly. You nailed it on the head with that one. You don't need to strive for perfection, but you should be striving for the greatest that you can get.
Hmm.
And I think that they're on that pathway of
Hmm.
being as good as they can get for an adaptation of an RPG,
Hmm.
which we haven't had adaptations of RPGs to my knowledge for television or games. If we have, correct me if I'm wrong, folks. I'm sure people will at some point.
I think it's the Dungeons
But
and Dragons, because
like
there's a
the
couple of
film that came out,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So there's the newest one that came out, and I think there's a couple of the original ones that were actually, pretty good, for that time. The CGI, I mean, it's pretty good again for that era, and it was enjoyable to watch. I think the newest movie, I mean, I enjoyed it. I admit it, I enjoyed it. I did, but I didn't pick it apart that much. I didn't really dive into that. But I think just off the top of my head, that's the only other RPG adaptation that comes to mind. But
Oh, I just realized because I didn't consider like animated works. I
mhm.
know Vox Machina is an entire D&D animated show based off of an actual ongoing
Mhm.
tabletop live show. So
Right.
I guess in a sense we have had RPGs and tabletop RPGs well represented. I guess it's just so rare to see it done
Mhm.
to a good degree
Mhm.
that it's shocking when you get more of it in different avenues and veins.
Right,
So I
right.
guess that's where I was going with it.
Mhm.
I can't believe that flew over me. Like, it's such a
That
good show.
that's a Critical Role, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Critical Role, and
right.
they have another one. I think that I don't know if it's out yet, but it's essentially most of their main group
Mhm,
doing another animated adaptation of a campaign that they're playing through,
mhm.
like new characters and all.
Nice.
So it can be done. Like, it definitely can be done. It just, I guess, it just takes a lot of elbow grease to make it work because
Mhm.
you really gotta nail down those aspects without really hamming it to the audience. Like, this is a failed dialogue check, or this is a failed
Right.
repair check or skill check.
Right.
So
And on that,
yeah.
it's just funny that we ventured this this way, because just what was it, last week? I went to Hollywood to we actually won a pair of tickets to the 20-sided tavern production.
Ooh,
And it's basically
nice.
D&D, live D&D performance on stage with audience interaction. Like, I to be honest, like, I didn't know what to expect out of it, but it's basically, so there's a game going on stage that's, by the way, influenced by the previous sessions uh that they did, in different towns and different states or whatever. So it's like ongoing, right?
Oh, that's cool.
And then so they have the audience, make decisions for the characters, and you have a big, screen behind them, so that you have, animations going on, and uh sound effects and whatnot. And oh my gosh, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to play this game going forward, because like that's what I want to do.
Like, this
It,
is what you want to have happen.
right. And so it was such a, so again, it goes nicely with what we were saying, RPG adaptations is such a, you know well executed idea, creative one at that, that new ways of doing this are constantly popping up, and it's just so great to see. um before we switch gears here in a bit, if you want to take a break, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we can just keep on rolling.
Honestly, I just gotta grab this thing and plug it into the phone,
Mhm.
so that way we can keep going without any interruptions. But
Yeah,
I'm definitely down to keep this ball rolling.
right on.
Just want to make sure the phone don't die on
Sounds
us.
good. Just shuts
Don't mind
off.
me, folks. Just gotta make sure I can plug this in here. It's such a tight squeeze. All right, we're
But
golden.
awesome. So yeah, on that, I know there's the Fallout tabletop RPG game. Have you had any experience with that? Have you played that game yet?
I've not played an official licensed
Hmm.
Fallout TTRPG. I know a friend of mine. Her name is Zell.
Hmm.
One of the coolest people I've met throughout this whole shindig for the event. She wants me to play one of her campaigns that
Hmm.
she's worked on. I could just never find the time to like sit down and do it.
Uh-huh.
And it's such a damn shame because from what I have heard and what I've seen, the TTRPGs of Fallout, whether they're homebrewed or official, play in my eyes so much better than the games because
Hmm.
there's the aspect of Dungeons and Dragons that I
Hmm.
am always enamored with from the times I have played,
Right.
and it's the role playing.
Hmm.
Because when it comes to role playing a video game, like great example, you're sitting there with your controller and you're staring at the TV,
Right.
and like you could imagine yourself in the world, you get to physically see it. But then there's a difference when you're playing a tabletop where you actually have to use your imagination. You're
Hmm.
getting into the character
It's
and
more
you're
intimate.
speaking to folks, yeah, like in real time.
Hmm.
And so I want to try it at some point. I but having a kid makes things difficult. So maybe when he's older, I can sit down and actually enjoy it and
Just mold
maybe
him,
have him
put him
play.
on that path.
Oh, trust me, what I've been working on it. I took him out to the saloon for my 30th
Oh,
and
nice.
told everyone like this is no longer my birthday. This is now his
Right.
day. He's the first Fallout baby.
But
So if I can get the Fallout baby to play our first TTRPG together Yeah, I'm doing this dad thing right.
Right. Just put a little six shooter in his hand, and little
That
little
it's
Benny
funny you say
costume.
that. I actually got him made
Oh
a
boy.
Gauss rifle,
There
and
you go.
I don't know if it'll show up, but if I can find it, I requested that it has his name on it. So this is actually a
Oh, right
unique that
on.
I'm gonna gift to him when I take him
Nice.
to the event. Naeus's little lighter.
There you go.
So,
That's
yeah, I'm trying to make him a brotherhood technophile.
nice. That's a great gift, Dad.
I try, son. I try.
But yeah, I've I've actually so I bought the starter kit for the RPG, and just flip through the pages, because I actually remember, because correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't it kind of spin off of the Wasteland Warfare miniature game? Because I remember when this thing kind of, like, all of a sudden, cropped up, like all of a sudden there was an RPG game. Because to a degree you could kind of play the Wasteland Warfare game as an RPG, but it wasn't officially one. And then all of a sudden, they came up with the rule book or whatever. I feel like there was something like that. I don't know if fans requested it, but I think it spun off of that.
I believe it did because the Wasteland Warfare game it plays more like a tactical game.
Hmm.
I would compare it to something like Risk,
Right.
where you have to really be thinking a few steps ahead. Or if you want to use video game logic, think of something such as Dota or
Hmm.
StarCraft,
Hmm.
where you have to play it as like an army simulator. You have
Right.
to utilize these troops and locations as best you can
Right.
in order to conquer your enemy.
Right.
But because people wanted to make a story out of it,
Hmm.
I think the homebrews and the reception that those got when people started sharing them around really kicked into gear for D&D as a whole to be like, well, what if we got in contact with the folks that
Hmm.
actually work on Fallout and we officially licensed a TTRPG?
Right.
And I don't know when that happened, like what year it launched, but I know when it did, people were losing their minds
Hmm.
because it's like no more homebrew stuff. Like there's something official out there,
Right.
which I always think homebrews are always better, just because I think freedom of imagination should be the goal in
Absolutely.
D&D.
Hmm. I, I totally agree. It's just the world building, and uh, as sitting in a circle of friends or whatever, and even I mean, COVID kind of gave rise to doing this online. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways how to do it online, but I still think that if you can, sit down in person and have that sort of intimacy, where you can kind of, act out things and talk to your friends in person, it's just such a level of uh immersion that you just can't replicate, on a computer screen or anywhere else. And like you said, because I know some folks choose to do it in cosplay, or even stay in character, where they do voices and accents, and it's just,
That's
everything
me for
goes,
sure.
everything goes. And I know a couple of my friends that actually they're always kind of scared to play these games, but I'm like, just don't even worry about it. Like, don't feel like you have to do anything. I mean, yes, there's a rule book, but essentially, you just go with it. Just get out the gate and just play the game. Who cares even if you're playing it wrong? You figure it out on the go, and it's just I feel like over the years this has become more uh widespread and more for the lack of a better word, acceptable way of playing games, spending free time. I think it's so important, to have that kind of um
That
the
interaction.
interaction, the mechanics that these games bring to the table is just so important. And if you can introduce it to kids, I mean, of course, within reason, but it doesn't always have to be gory and violent, but it's just like it gets those little, cogwheels in their brains going. And if you can spark up that imagination early, I think, the the kid or the person is going to be so much better for it. In my opinion.
I no, I 100% agree. So with D&D, I didn't get to play it till like late in my life. Like I
Mhm.
always knew about it growing up, but
Same.
funny enough, I didn't get to touch it till I think I had just got out of high school. Like I
Mhm.
graduated in 2014,
Mhm.
and I was free for the summer. And it's like, let me tell you, an era to be alive when you're just no longer in school. Just Vanoss Gaming had just taken off, and I'm just down in that every weekend. I'm watching a lot of just animated bullshit with my dad, and it was a good time.
Right.
And my buddy invited me to his girlfriend's house because their whole family, turns out they're a whole D&D family.
Mhm.
Like they cook up snacks and whatnot. They have people come
Nice.
over, and they encourage cosplay. So I got to
There you
have
go.
my first D&D sessions doing that. And I 100% agree that it's all about the interaction of being with a group of people, whether you don't know them and you're trying to become friends with them, or it's people you know
Mhm.
of your inner circle and you're trying to expand what makes your group so fun. It's the interactions you get, the loving stories or tragic falls and
Mhm.
rises of characters, enemies, villains, loved ones within that confine that
Mhm.
you create. That versus doing it over an analog, like a screen,
Mhm.
over a phone, like how we're doing this podcast right now.
Mhm.
There's a different feel to it. And I believe having that live interaction with people, having the full setting, just it breeds that camaraderie
Mhm.
that you want from a D&D session. And
Mhm.
when it comes to the kids, well, I know I mentioned it earlier, like growing up was always told like less is more. Don't
Right.
don't do too much, don't be weird. And it's not because like my parents were like in fear of like, oh well, it'll look weird on us. It's they want you to be safe. They wanted
Mhm.
me to not get bullied and whatnot.
Mhm.
And every parent doesn't want that.
Right.
But I think D&D is such a good thing for a kid to experience within a proper reason to get them into utilizing those things that they don't normally think of, or
Mhm.
tapping into, I want to call it just tapping into the magic, because there's
Right.
such a magic with things like that. So
I
I
agree.
hope that people do that more.
I agree. And for nothing else, just it's a great escape. It's just you get to put yourself in a world that you otherwise, can't be in. Be it, and that ties in with cosplay too. I've heard it from so many people, whether it's conventions or Ren fairs, where it's just like literally they tell me, "Oh, that's my escape." That's like the one time where I get to put on this costume, or like I don't know, be a pirate or whatever, and just like be immersed in an environment where a whole bunch of other people are doing the same thing. You know, some in
Exactly.
character, some just like taking it all in. In the case of a Ren fair, just grab a tankard of mead, and just have a good time. In terms of
Yeah, here,
Fallout,
here to that.
yeah, there you go. And in terms of Fallout and these celebrations or conventions, it's just I mean, unless you're that 1% of people that, throws on a cosplay or whatever and just walks around town in it every day, this is your one opportunity where you get to do it. No one's gonna think that it's weird if you're on the shy side, it's just embrace it, and to this day, granted, I haven't been doing it for a long time, but over the last few years, I have yet to meet a person that looks down on somebody else or makes fun of somebody else's costume or cosplay or whatever, or is just downright mean. Like I've had nothing but positive experience. I know, folks got into altercations or whatever, like, I have yet to experience that, but, definitely when it comes to the Fallout Fan Celebration in Good Springs, I like, I've had nothing but positive feedback experience. People are just so, caring and, just taking it all in, happy to be there.
And I don't think I've had a negative experience myself either since
Mhm.
helping and being involved with Good Springs and the Vegas event.
Mhm.
In terms of cosplay as a whole, I have had those unfortunate interactions with folks because you meet people that unfortunately treat cosplay like a way to get somewhere, or for lack of a better term, clout chasing.
Mhm.
And you know, nothing against people like that. Be about what you're about. And if you're good at it, just
Mhm.
do you, bromigo, make that money, get that bread. But
Mhm.
to shit on other people for what they're doing, it's I had that happen to me a few times in
Mhm.
my early cosplay career before I really started letting the Fallout stuff fly. This was back when I was an Assassin's Creed fan. Like,
Right.
one of my favorite characters is Connor Kenway from AC3. I am enamored with Connor Kenway. I think he is the most well-written character we have ever gotten in that series.
Mhm.
And he was like my first like actual cosplay
Nice.
for like a video game. Like I shaved my head down. I had the mohawk going.
Well, there
I
you go.
did the war paint from the end of the game. I had it on. I even had the tomahawk with me, which I have on the wall. Like, I was ready, dressed to the nine.
Uh,
And someone came up to me and they got on me because I didn't have the moccasins on
oh
and I was
God.
wearing jeans.
Not
And it's
screen
like,
accurate, right?
yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm definitely a guy who respects and loves accuracy,
Mhm.
especially in cosplay. It's not needed, but when you go that extra mile, first of all, you have my heart, because
Mhm.
some accuracy to pull off is fucking difficult,
Mhm.
especially if you're like an anime cosplayer.
Oh.
I know for a fact that that's got to be a nightmare because I've only done a few anime cosplays and
Mhm.
I picked the easiest stuff. If you know what Space Dandy is, that is the easiest thing to do. Throw on a pompadour wig and talk about beer and you're set. So people that take accuracy to that extent and ruin your time,
Mhm.
from a standpoint, I understand what you're trying to get at, but you're coming off so rude and
Mhm.
just so pushy, and then I start beating them up, and then I get arrested, and then now that's a whole thing. We don't need to go back to the summer of 2015. I'm
Uh,
kidding. I'm kidding. I've never hurt anybody at an event. Okay, let's clear the air. It's a joke, people.
right. No,
Um,
but I mean, you did bring up a serious issue, and it's just like there's a set of rules that apply to cosplay, particularly. One of them being cosplay is not consent. So it's just
1000%.
it's just it's always well, not even encouraged, but it's required to have the cosplayer be okay with you taking
Comp.
pictures, approaching you, touching the cosplay, and it's just it always comes off rude when you start criticizing somebody else's cosplay. And that comes
Oh
from,
yeah.
like me being a prop maker. I mean, I am the first one to be critical of something, especially if I make it, right? But I also understand that there's a learning curve to this. And if you're brand new to a craft or cosplay or anything, it is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be, you know, uh great right off the bat. It might be, but there's a fair chance, that there's going to be evolution to these things. And for you to come up to somebody with your unsolicited advice, or criticism, it like there is no way to make it come across as uh what it most likely is for you, and that is to provide advice, because like they might be self-conscious about something, either the cosplayer themselves or them being in cosplay, and it's just unless they ask for it, I wouldn't even go there. I wouldn't even venture into that territory, because like
Yeah.
I've heard it from people that experienced it. I've seen it online where it's just like, a person's downright shitting on somebody's technique or doing of things. But like you never know where that person's at. Like they might be at the very beginning of their journey, and like you might have just snuffed it out. It's just like that they got their taste of negativity on the internet, if they're already, pretty fragile or sensitive or self-conscious, like I said, like you might have just ended, their journey before it truly began. So it's not a good thing to do, and
Yeah,
so
it's just so dickish.
yeah,
And
it is.
coming from my own standpoint on this, because a lot of people don't realize it when they look at me, but from my dad's side and my mom's side, we are African American,
Hmm.
and so first of all, I'll address it. I know, I get it, folks, I get it, but trust me, it's there, it's there. I didn't cook long enough. You blame my dad,
They make
but
him in that shade too.
as a cosplayer of color, it's so much more prolific in the Black cosplay community, and I've seen it happen more often than not.
Mhm,
And it's really disheartening when it happens, because one of the biggest things that we see a lot of is usually not about accuracy, but it ends up being about the character itself.
mhm.
And I get accuracy, but there's also just cosplaying for enjoyment. So
Yeah.
I don't care if the cosplayer is not the same nationality as the cosplay they intend to do. If
Mhm,
that's a character they enjoy, they have every right to enjoy that character. And it gets to a degree where it's so annoying to be told, like,
mhm.
you shouldn't cosplay this because you look like that, or
It
you shouldn't cosplay this because they
it's
are
so
nothing like
stupid.
you.
It's so stupid. I'm
It's
sorry. It's
Yeah,
dumb.
it's asinine. Like,
Mhm,
cosplay at the end of the day is about fun. And I get some people want to do it to get somewhere in life, and there are a lot of people who are really talented with it. They
mhm,
make money off of it,
mhm.
and they should, because they have that talent. But I don't wake up in the morning and tell myself I'm gonna cosplay fucking Randall Clark, and then it turns out Randall Clark is not at all what I am, so I can't do it. Or fucking
Right.
Joshua Graham is probably like super, like, there's no way for me to word it without sounding terrible. So I'm just gonna say, cosplay what you want to cosplay, enjoy what you want to enjoy, be damned what people
Mhm,
say.
mhm,
And for the negativity side of it, there's usually some small grain of truth in all negative formats.
mhm,
You have to be able to find the truth, though.
mhm,
And the truth that I found in that negativity is that I can be better at what I'm doing, and I want to improve myself,
mhm.
not for them, but for me.
Right.
So if for me, accuracy is what I want to do, accuracy is what I'm going to do.
Mhm.
And then you throw that shit out the window because this ain't a checkered suit. And yet, for some reason, people say I'm one of their favorite Bennies, which I don't know why I'd be your favorite Benny. Go follow Vault Nostalgia. That is a 10 times better Benny than I will ever be. Love you, buddy. I hope you see this.
I mean, his Benny is pretty great too, and it's just whether it's seeing him in that cosplay, in the skits that he does, or at the celebration. I mean, again, but it just ties in so well with what you just said. I mean, cosplay is for everyone, and just think about how boring it would be if everybody just stuck to what's already out there. Without the creativity of taking it where it should be, or it's mind-blowing to me that somebody even thinks like that. I mean the amount of creative cosplay that I've seen at the celebration alone, it's just like it would just be so boring without it.
Exactly.
I think it was not this year but last year. There was a cosplayer walking around with a TV on her head, cosplaying as Mr. House, being on the TV. And it was like,
Yeah,
"Oh my gosh," like, it's so
they
freaking
came
creative.
back for this event. They had a real TV this time. Like,
Oh,
the
nice.
screen worked.
That's
They like
awesome.
connected it to their phone or something, and they could play YouTube videos off it. And
That's crazy.
it's just, cosplay should breathe imagination and fun. Like,
Mhm,
there's a baseline, yes, for cosplays of things that exist,
mhm,
and you follow that baseline to a degree of, how do I want to portray this? How do I want to come across as this?
mhm.
And then it becomes transformative. It turns into something that we don't get to see a lot of, because everything is going to be different. Like,
Right.
no ghoul cosplayer is going to be the same. Like, They're all
Right.
ghouls, but they're all different.
Yeah.
And that should be celebrated. Like you should be celebrated for the uniqueness you bring to the cosplay
Mhm.
community, whether it be from yourself or from your peers. And that's something that I have a hard time doing with myself. Like
Mhm.
I always think I could be better. I've been slowly improving my cosplays for years, and I still think my cosplays are hot dookie dog shit. I will be the first to admit my cosplays, no matter what I do, are hot dookie dog shit. So when people tell me, no, your chest piece is awesome, it's actually made of metal and you have
Mhm.
like cowhide to protect you under it, that's sick. Or your helmet lights up, it has fans in it to keep you cool, that's really neat.
Mhm.
Or your Benny has the Maria, the lighter, and the actual platinum chip. No, that's really cool. It's
It
you
is
have
cool.
to learn to accept what you do,
Yeah.
accept what you bring.
Exactly. And I mean, it's just so true. It like I said in the beginning, we're our own worst critics, right? And that's something that I really had to work on myself, where I just like I have to accept, the that people are, in different places when it comes to their journey, and they're gonna, appreciate or admire what you're doing, and you might think that it's dog shit, like you just said. And it's just like I really have to work on myself when it comes to that, because like I'm critical of everything that I do, and when it's not up to my standard, or if I'm going for accuracy and it's just not living up to it, it bothers me. But it's just like it just might make someone's, day, just seeing that. And so I really had to, come to terms with, that reality. And, like, the first time somebody tell me that, like, I actually, not to toot my own horn here, but, I think it's just
Nah, toot it.
really relevant
Toot
to
the
what
hell
we're
out that
talking
horn.
about. When they said that something that I did or that I inspired them, I'm like, my job's done here. Like, if for nothing else, like I could never think of myself as being inspirational to anybody else. So like when I first heard that, I was like, and that is why I do that. Part of the reason why I do what I do. And it's just so so great to hear. And we all work on ourselves, in our own way, in different aspects of uh, whether it's cosplay or whether it's any form of art or anything really. And so I think it's important when criticism comes from a good place, when it's warranted, and just understand that uh people might be, like I said, in a different, or you never know what place they're in, right? At what point of their journey they're on. So, just find something good, find something positive to say, find something that you like rather than dislike. About,
Yeah.
but that goes to anything and everything out there, whether it's a game or a job or another person or whatever. Find something that you like rather than dislike. I mean, your life is going to be a lot better for it.
Yeah. That I wish I took that advice. I mean, hell, fucking if I could have a job that I fully loved 100%, that'd be something.
I
Not
don't
to
think
say I
it
hate my
exists.
job.
I don't think it exists, to be
That
honest.
it that they exist. It's just it's making the dream happen, you
Mhm,
know? But sometimes you gotta be realistic with
mhm,
yourself and be like, what I have works and it helps out with things.
mhm,
Like for example, myself, I worked on cars and I I don't give a damn about cars. Like
mhm.
I know they go beep beep vroom vroom. That is the extent of my car knowledge. But I get a lot of time off because of my job, which allows me to help out and attend the events,
Mhm,
and it also allows me to spend time with my child and help out at
mhm,
home. So as long as it takes care of things on both those fronts, I'm happy. And I think that there should be that degree of, even if you don't make your dreams, as
mhm.
long as you can live out some of the other ones, you're living life
Yeah.
to the best of your ability. And cosplay is that same avenue. Like you don't have to do the most fantastically well done cosplay.
Mhm.
You don't even have to make your own cosplays.
Right.
I will go on record saying that I used to make my own cosplays from scratch.
Mhm,
And now I don't have a lot of time to do that. So if I could get pieces, I get them and I touch them up.
Right.
But everything that everyone has seen me have, like if you've seen my Ranger, if you've
Mhm.
seen my Randall Clark, all those pieces are from friends of mine that they
Mhm.
have created or that they sell or that they've given to me out of good faith.
Mhm.
Cosplay, no matter what, at the end of the day, is what makes you happy, and how you achieve it should not matter. So I
I
hope people
agree.
take that as the main point.
I
Just
agree.
have fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. And you should leverage whatever you can, if you have a chance to buy, create, or, somehow otherwise acquire, what it is that you want, go for it. I mean, again, like it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be super accurate. It's just whatever you
Just to
want
be
it to be.
you.
Yeah. Like just the primary objective of cosplay is to have fun with it. And I feel like sometimes certain people lose sight of that. And again, like when there is negativity in this space, I think it first and foremost comes from the place they're at, and they're just it's reflective of their own state of mind, or something like that. But it's just like, again, like I'll say it again, the creativity that can come from cosplayers is just it's just crazy. And I love to see that. Like another thing could be a considered hot take or whatever, but just like I think when it comes to cosplay and gender bending, oh man, like I think it can be so great. Like I've seen some
Yeah, like,
great ones out there. I think the one that stands out, I think her name's Claire.
oh, you know Claire.
Yeah, she always does the Benny, and
Yeah, Fem Benny and Kato does Fem House. They're
right.
actually good friends of mine.
Right. So I'm actually trying, because Claire reached out a couple weeks ago to be on the podcast. So I'm trying to make that happen. So, and I really want that to happen because, um,
Hey, well, she has my endorsement for sure. Claire, you should totally do it. Do it. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for me. Do it
there you go.
for good old big bands.
Do it.
Air him.
But because again, it's just such a different angle on an established character, and we need to have that. You just need to we need to get rid of the stigma where it's just like, oh, that's a male character, only male characters have, or males have to do that. It's just like, fuck that.
Yeah. Like, I think gender
Why?
bending when it comes to cosplay opens the door for a lot of people, because some people want to cosplay a character, but they feel like they can't because they're either a boy or a girl, or because of like how things have been. They could be non-binary, they could be on a different spectrum of gender,
Hmm.
but because of that, they feel as if they can't do it. To which I say, if that makes you happy, then do it. I've seen
Hmm.
people gender bend a lot of characters, and sometimes it turns out better or above what I've seen
Hmm.
some characters end up being. Like, one of my favorites that I've seen, it's not even Fallout related, but I love it so much, is a version of Peter B. Parker from
Hmm.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Which, if you've seen the first movie, like when he's in the sweatpants and the
Oh,
long green coat, there was a gender bent version of that. And what made it funny for me is that they decided, instead of being fat, that their gender bend is pregnant. And I think it breeds so much creativity that it's just someone becoming a mom, and they happen to be Spider Woman trying to teach
wow,
this new kid to be Spider Woman.
that's
So
awesome.
there's a lot of things that could come out of that.
Oh.
And I think people should understand that there's no door on cosplay other than the door you have built and installed for
Hmm.
yourself to either close and lock off, or to open and walk through. So
Hmm.
just know what you want to walk through and know what you want to lock off, but you should want to walk through as many of the doors for cosplay as possible,
Right. I
within
mean,
reason,
th-
within comfort.
think of it as the multiverse, right? I mean,
Yeah,
there you go.
like, yeah, like the amount of Deadpool cosplayers you meet, and they're all different Deadpools, whether they be boy, gal, robot, simp, super muted. I met a Deadpool that like his whole cosplay was just he was an ant. It was just
Well, I mean, just
like
look at
he
the
was
movie. Look at the movie. Like how many Deadpools we saw
yeah
there. I mean, we had a dog that was
yeah
Deadpool. You
which
know?
which was the greatest thing ever and
Yeah,
the best thing I've ever seen.
yeah. So, I mean, it's just
But
do
yeah,
whatever makes you happy.
do
Please do it.
exactly. Do what is you 100% and do what makes your 100% happy because that
Hmm.
turns it to 200%. And that at the end of the day is what cosplay should be about. It
Right,
shouldn't be about trying to impress people. It should just be what I enjoy, what I want to do, even if it doesn't fully happen. I
right.
will speak on that for experience, people. One of my favorite cosplays that I've never gotten off the ground is actually right behind me. I love manga, and one of my favorites is Berserk. And the
Oh, look at
only thing of
that.
Berserk I've ever created is a full length to scale Dragon Slayer, and I've never made the Berserk armor,
Uh
but
huh.
I'm happy with just this.
Right.
And this makes me happy. So
It's a
even if
good
you don't
piece.
make it happen, be happy with the thing you do have
Yeah.
because you're the one that made it happen.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't agree more. And on that, it's just uh, if I interject myself into it, my character doesn't even exist. Like, my character is an original character. Like, you can't see it anywhere in the game. It doesn't exist. It's something that I made, and it's just like for some reason, people love it. So,
Because it's fully you. And
right,
you embody what the fandom loves the most within that character.
right.
I could kind of relate because no one knows what Randall Clark looks like. We've never
Hmm.
seen him. We've
Hmm.
only read about him. We've only
Right.
heard the legend of the tribe that exists because of his deeds. And
Hmm.
I won't speak on it now, maybe on another podcast when people want the deep Nick lore. The Randall's story is what really kicked into overdrive what I wanted to be seen in the Fallout community for Good
Hmm.
Springs and hopefully for West Virginia.
Hmm.
It helped me out of a bad time in my life.
Hmm.
And maybe one day I'll enlighten to everybody what how that happened and what it means to me. But that character, when people see me as him, they usually say things like it means a lot that
Hmm.
you're open about something like this and that this character we feel like we just see you when we think about him or read about him or if we're looking it up on the wiki. And
Right on.
that to me means a lot. Like
Yeah.
you should want to be that for people.
Right.
If you're not it for yourself, be it for everyone else.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, your cosplay is a hero to somebody.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself.
You could have. You 100% could have. You got way with words. Me just yap. Me
uh,
yapper.
oh, please yap away. No, I mean, I think it's and again, we touched on it earlier too. It's so important to have those wholesome moments, like me personally, like over the last what 2 years now, where like I've been actively going to events, cons, and whatever. More and more do I enjoy the interaction, with fans, with other fans, other cosplayers, people that want to take pictures, than panels and whatnot. Because it's just like I don't know, the level of satisfaction and uh, entertainment and what have you that I get, from just talking to different people, other people, and taking pictures and exchanging, swag or whatever. It's just like I don't know. It fills a place in my heart that is just so unique to this interaction alone that I don't know. I just wouldn't trade it for anything else. I mean, granted, when there's San Diego Comic Con, we go to a great panel. I mean, all that's great, but it's like I can just never wait, for the meetup or the photo shoot or just just to taking of pictures with other people and getting the feedback and whether they're admiring my character or just straight out talking shop, how I made this or that. It's just there's nothing like that for me.
Yeah, like it's what really brings the cosplay community
Mhm,
together as a whole in my eyes. And
mhm,
it makes me wonder if people have all had that moment yet where
mhm,
there's something that has happened within your cosplay journey that really sets in stone like this is why you do it
mhm.
and this is why I want to do it, which I know I've had a few.
Right.
But I think when I first started doing Fallout cosplays, it started with with the basic NCR
Mhm,
Ranger veteran outfit, brown duster,
mhm.
helmet, and all that. I had a little girl with her mother and her brother ask if she could take a picture, and which was weird to think that because this kid was like maybe 5 or 7 at the oldest.
Uh-huh.
So to see that she wants a picture of me in a Fallout getup was really weird to me, but I obliged.
Right.
And so I got down on a knee. I gave them like my props so they could take a picture, like the guns and
Mhm.
whatnot. Which don't give guns to kids, people. They were props, but still, don't do that.
Props only.
But after the picture was taken, right before I got up, she like jumped into like my arms and hugged me, which
No.
caught me off guard. And she was like, "My daddy loves Fallout, and he's serving right now."
Uh-huh,
And he reminded me of him because I guess he was a big like
uh-huh.
NCR fan, and I started crying in my helmet. Like that to me is what it should be about when
Right.
people are happy with what you do and it brings enjoyment to their life and something like that. It's such a rare thing to have happen, to have people genuinely excited and happy
Mhm.
or moved just from you dressing up. Like I would never think as a kid I would have moments like that in my
Oh,
life.
me neither.
And so it's humbling, and I
Mhm,
hope that everyone gets the opportunity to really set in stone for themselves a moment like that you
mhm.
can look back on and be like, this is why I do what I do. And I know I have a lot of reasons, but that
Yeah,
is one of the biggest ones.
right.
Just
Man,
if it feels good and it makes you happy, then I'm happy I could be that guy. I'm happy I can put on that show. No
right.
matter what character it is.
For
If
sure.
it's doing it for you, then I'm here to serve.
Absolutely. Man, why are my eyes sweating?
It's
Just
like, yeah, who turn the heat down in here? God damn. My eyeballs are sweating in a goddamn storm.
No, I mean, that's so awesome though, and, yeah, I can definitely relate to that, and it's always the kids. It actually happened, the very first time that I made the first iteration of the Nuka Boy, which was primarily just a suit, and it was San Diego Comic Con 2 years ago, and it was just like, I mean, we barely got to the convention center, and this little boy is walking with his dad, and he wanted a picture, so I gave him the thirst zapper in his hand, and he was so ecstatic, and I'm like, you know, because it was like one of the first few times where anybody took a picture with, me and my character. I'm still getting used to it, and I hope that that feeling never goes away. Like I hope that I will never get numb to it. Like I just, want to be in that space forever. Like I hope it never gets old. I don't think it will.
I don't
I
think
don't
it
think it
will.
will,
Like
but
we take for granted the moments like that in like right there in the moment, and then looking back is when it all hits you.
mhm,
And so I don't think it ever will get old. It's just when you start feeling nostalgic about it, and
mhm,
then you start looking back at all the good times that people have had with what you do,
mhm,
and that that right there is the most magical thing for the cosplay community. Is just the joy you and I and everyone else, whether they be big or small, brings to the table
mhm.
is why we do what we do, or at
Right,
least most of us. I know some
right,
people are in it for the money. You know what? If I could get money for doing Benny, that'd be sick. But
right.
I don't think anybody wants to see me be Benny and pay for it. I
Everybody
wouldn't.
everybody throw money at Nick, you know?
Oh, no, no.
Like I said on the last episode, if you had a code for Bethesda, like it would be running right below where people can see it right now. For now, it's your social. So Nick Shelton
Oh God.
421 on Instagram. But he doesn't have a code, so throw money at him.
Yeah, if I ever get to that point where Bethesda's like, yeah, we see potential in you. We would like to let you do creator stuff.
Mhm.
I I honestly would feel really humbled about it, but I
Mhm.
would feel kind of bad because it's like, guys, there's so many people that deserve it way more than me. I made it for the fun, guys. Like, I know my family's like, if you could make money, do it. My personal ethics on this,
Mhm.
as for what I do for the event, which I promise we're going to talk about the New Vegas event and the West Virginia event in detail, folks, but we're
Mhm.
having fun right now. Let us have fun first. I do what I do not for any monetary value, not for fame,
Mhm.
and not even to be recognized. I do it because I just care
Mhm.
for everyone out there. I want everyone to have a good time. I want people to make lasting memories and building bridges in the
Right.
community. Like when we did the pre-vault party
Mhm.
for the event,
Mhm.
which was something that we've never done before and something I got to run completely on my own. We teamed up with a friend of mine who works at a bar in Vegas known as Millennium Fandom,
Mhm.
which this was the first joint effort we have done with another bar to my knowledge for the event. And the turnout was amazing. And to know that people had fun doing that and I got to be a part of that is why I do it.
Mhm.
And I would say, I guess if I could ask for one thing out of this whole journey going forward, like from this point onward, I guess I just want to be like the legends in Fallout. I just don't want to be forgotten,
Oh, I don't think it's
maybe
possible. I don't think it's possible for you to be forgotten.
I hope so. I hope I leave some impact, and I hope that my efforts lead other people to do amazing things, whether they hope to gain something out of it or not.
Mhm.
But I can at least speak for myself. If I ever get offered to get paid, I'm turning it down. I know
Mhm.
people think that's dumb, but I believe passion and work stay separate for a reason. And to me, this is nothing but passion. This
Mhm.
is what I care about. And I'm hoping that at the end of it all, besides hopefully being remembered for the efforts I've put forward, that when I finally get to take my kid to the event, 'cause I
Mhm.
won't be doing that till he's at least 5. I want him
Right.
to be cognitive enough and old enough to where he'll actually remember. I
Mhm.
want that legacy that I've left to be something he can find out on his own. Like I've written notes to him at the saloon inside of all the logbooks.
Nice.
And I want people to talk about things that have happened in the past to him when he gets to go, and hopefully he'll leave his own mark.
Right.
And that's what I hope everyone does in general. Leave your mark with us, and
Mhm.
hopefully you become one of those legends of the wastes, whether it be a courier, a lone wanderer, a soul survivor, or the vault dweller. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Just leave your mark, people.
I agree. And I think it's such a great idea. And you know, I know it's sometimes hard to do. Uh, you know, we obviously, need to make a living or whatever, but if you can, don't put money first. Put passion first, because if it comes from whatever you're working on, whatever project you're working on, but if the passion's there, the success will follow. If it's genuine, and like it'll get there. It might take a while, but it's just like, if you're not passionate about anything, uh no no amount of force, that you put into something will get you wherever you want to be. Like, it needs to come from a genuine place, and a passionate one. And I think in your case, it's more than evident. And that's why, the event's been as successful as it has been, because the the group of people that run it are so like-minded and so passionate about something and so genuine that it just can't go any other way but success. So
That's what I'm hoping for. And I
it,
hope that we continue to improve and bring something to the table for everybody.
I think so. I mean, that's been its track record, and it's definitely been a good one. But you touched on it a little while ago. And by now, I think anybody, in the Fallout circles and social media knows that we're going east, going to West
Yeah,
Virginia.
that's a
And
big thing for us.
I think so. Old Man Liver dropped it, at the as a yet another surprise during, he was just, standing in the company, of, Walton Goggins and Aaron Moten and Jonah Nolan. And so let's just drop another bombshell. And yeah, we're going to West Virginia. Why not?
Yeah. Like we want to expand, so to speak.
Right.
And when I say that, the idea is not, well, obviously any idea worth its salt wants to make money. I think everyone can agree on that. But
Hmm.
the idea formed from the simplistic question, can everybody make it out west
Hmm.
for this event? And the answer to that is no, not
Right.
everyone can make it out west. So a while back, Old Man Liver, when I was talking to him, because we'll text each other every so often,
Hmm.
just like a, I see him like another dad, so I'll call him
Hmm.
like Pops and whatnot.
Right.
I just have massive respect for the man, and I asked him like, "Oh, hey Pops, like, how's it going, whatnot?" And he mentioned to me, "Oh, I'm on a flight right now." "Oh, are you on vacation?" He's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna spend a weekend in the East Coast." "Okay, if it's not for vacation, what's it for?" "Oh, let's just say I'm doing some scouting." And that was the first hint that
Right.
there was something. He didn't say where in the East, where he was going. And so I had to wait a couple days. He gets back to me. I ask him how was this so-called scouting. And that's when he sort of filled me in that they were looking to plan an event to bring out to the East Coast. And they wanted to find locations that would be prolific for the Fallout fandom. Like, where do people in the East want to go? And
Hmm.
I know some people will say like things like DC and whatnot because Fallout 3 or Boston is
Right.
Fallout 4. But I think we all realize that 76, whether you think it's divisive or not, if you enjoy it or not, you have to be able to admit to yourself that is the biggest portion of the fandom to date right now,
Right.
currently. There is a lot of online players for 76, and there's
Hmm.
a lot of traction towards 76 since its inception.
Hmm.
Even if it started out rocky, it's surviving, striving, and I mean, hell, a game with multiple expansions. Like, I can only think of one game, and that was Warcraft.
Hmm.
So when you're on the level of Warcraft, you should strike when the iron is hot.
Right.
So that's when it came to fruition that what if the next event is not a solo event, it's a sister event to
Hmm.
Vegas. So now people that are too far from Vegas or can't make the excursion can go somewhere else and still have that same amount of fun that we're putting on in the West, but it's also its own vibe, it's its own theme, its own feel.
Right.
And that's when the birth of the Wasteland Jamboree came to be.
Hmm.
So our whole point is to bridge that gap because I know we call the main celebration the Fallout fan celebration. We celebrate Fallout as a whole.
Hmm.
But if you really want to celebrate it as a whole, there should be something for the fans of the wider community. And
Right.
going to Good Springs doesn't appeal to everybody. But going to the Flatwoods,
Hmm.
where a lot of people have hunted the Mothman and the Grafton Monster and whatnot in game,
Hmm.
well, that appeals to a lot of people. So
That is
I
true.
was happy when we dropped that knowledge on folks. I think it's going to do tremendously well.
I
So if
think
there's any
so.
questions you have on that, like I'd be happy to answer them within reason.
Right.
Within reason.
Yeah, let's not spoil, anything. I'm definitely not going to pry anything out of you that you're not at liberty to disclose just yet. But
They'll kick my ass.
but I think it's such a great idea. What you just said to um, bridge the gap. Um, Although it's a big one, but you just you have to have it, right? And it just goes to show you how much the community cares about inclusion and it being available to as many people as possible. And so for a whole bunch of folks on the East Coast to be able to uh, sort of experience the level of excitement and entertainment and immersion that we get here out west, I think it's such a great idea. And yeah, what better way to do it than do it in West Virginia, where Fallout 76 takes place, and that being so relevant and so actual. It's just such a solid choice.
I agree. I think bringing something to the bigger portion of the community that has set in stone their own way of doing things, their own version of Fallout, their own version of fun.
Mhm.
I I think we all looked at it as a way of not just bridging the gap between the fandoms, but also just once again breathing more of that goodwill back into the community.
Mhm.
Because it's one thing to put on the main event that we've been doing for the last 4 years and make it as big as we've gotten it to be with all the star power we've
Mhm.
been blessed to have, to want to undertake another project and take it as far out to West Virginia is a whole new ball game entirely. And I
Mhm.
think people are just excited to be a part of that, especially for its first outing. Like,
Right.
we're we intend to do as much as we can to make it memorable for people. I know that we're spitballing ideas right now. We're
Mhm.
workshopping on some things. I won't say what they are
Mhm.
because the last thing any of us want to do is make promises. And then if promises don't happen,
Right.
people think that you went back on your word. And that's not something we're about.
Right.
But just know we are really, really looking into what the East Coast fans and the biggest portion, the 76 fans, are going to be about. What's going to really set in stone their first time.
Mhm.
And I can already say being in Flatwood Sudden is definitely going to be the biggest part of that. And 68 acres of land we're working with. It's a lot of space. So we're
That is
gonna
a
have a lot to do.
lot of real estate for Fallout shenanigans. That's for sure. Um,
Is a lot more than what I'm used to. I could safely say that. And I'm
right.
hoping that everything we bring to this table is filling out what people are hoping to see.
Mhm.
The most I could say on my portion is I am, as of this year, officially a part of the game show, and game and events team. I am bringing
Nice.
Benny out that way to host, hopefully, some of the game shows we had out this year. So
Mhm.
if you guys got to participate in Wheel of Fallout, which was its first Inception,
Mhm.
which even with the weather ran well, or Fallout Family Feud, or any of those other games that we put on, just know your favorite Fink is going to be out there to hopefully make sure you guys have a good time, East Coast style. But I'm going to bring that West Coast flair, baby. So
Nice.
we're going to
Oh,
keep it platinum.
congrats on that. That's
Thank you. Thank you.
and I mean, historically, I think there's no doubt that this event's going to be absolutely amazing. I mean, like you said, you got 4 years under your belt, of organizing a kick-ass show, kick-ass event. So you've learned a whole bunch of things, and that you can apply here. There's understandably going to be possibly some growing pains, taking it out east, some bumps on the road, kinks to iron out, but I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to be absolutely an amazing event. And I can't wait to experience it in one way or another, whether I'm out there, or living it vicariously through the East Coasters or people that venture out there. I can't wait for it either way. And I wish you guys and everybody involved nothing but success. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be a smashing success.
I like to look at it from the perspective of until the show raises its curtains, anything can happen. And I
Hmm.
want to be sure at least my own best is put forward.
Hmm.
So until things officially start that weekend, until the second and the third hit,
Hmm.
it's nothing but crunch time in my eyes.
Right.
And I am hopefully utilizing that time well. I know the committee has been working really hard in our discussions with things and what they want to put forward.
Hmm.
And those in the higher up section of the committees, the the inner circle that
Hmm.
is had. I know that they are looking at things from a much deeper perspective in different angles. And hopefully one day I'll get to that point where I can be graced to be at their level and be at those types of meetings. But for now,
I'm sure you
just
will.
know that we're until then, you guys are in good hands. We are definitely planning on putting on something spectacular, and I'm just really hoping that the Wasteland Jamboree hits every merit.
Hmm.
I know the biggest thing that's going for me personally right now for it. We are working with one of the coordinators for the Power Armor event
Hmm.
that's in West Virginia, and
All right.
they are, from what I understand, from what I've seen, that's the only real Fallout event that that area has had,
Hmm.
and they've been doing it for a while. I believe since 2017,
All
2018,
right.
if I'm recalling it correctly. So they have a lot of work under their belt that they'll be able to impart on us, and I'm hoping that us working together not only breeds more goodwill within their community and our community,
Hmm.
and the intermingling will have more people go out to the east, and those in the east will want to come out west. But we could also learn from one another. I'm hoping that
Right.
things that they do will inspire us to do even bigger, cooler, and crazier things. I know for sure the stuff that they do with Power Armor. I'm hoping we get more Power Armor related things going in the future. Because
Right. I mean,
damn,
who
like
doesn't
we
love a
need to be
good
doing more of that.
right? Because who doesn't love a great looking set of power armor? That's for sure. Um,
Damn right.
so I mean, I'm not sure if you can speak to that effect in any capacity, but is are there any efforts to sort of establish, like a permanent um what would be a good way of putting it? Like a permanent structure or place, kind of like it is the saloon in Good Springs, where you can like enshrine, items, kind of like it is back in Good Springs over in West Virginia, or is it? I mean, I guess you can't really say for sure because we don't even know how the first one's going to go. But are you guys looking at it from that sort of vantage point where you kind of want to establish a permanent place, or is it going to jump from place to place throughout the
So
state?
I I think for this first outing, we mainly pick Flatwoods because the one of the biggest things for 76 is the cryptids, and
Hmm.
so Flatwoods Monster, the Grafton Monster, Mothman are all generally around that same area,
Hmm.
and so we picked that mainly for the, I'll call it star power,
Hmm.
but I don't think that going going ahead in the future, I don't know if that's a permanent place. I'm not speaking with 100% facts on this, however. This
Hmm.
is just, again, this is our first outing. So I believe this is in the vein of what we could call a trial run, see
Right.
how it goes, because we're also looking at the aspects of how easy is it to get to this area? Is it
Hmm.
easy for folks to travel to? Is it easy to work with? So on and so forth. There's a lot of factors that go into it.
Right.
So if there is plans to have like a a spot, so to speak, they're unbeknownst to me at the time.
Hmm.
So, but I can probably say as of right now, there isn't a plan. But I wouldn't be surprised if down the road, if a new locale was picked out that is easier for folks to get to, or it offers more advantages for
Hmm.
us, the community at large, and ideas that we have going forward, then it could be a possibility.
Right.
But
Nice.
no 100% answer one way or the other on that one, unfortunately.
Right. No, I mean, understandably so. And like you said, this is definitely going to be a trial run for the West Virginia event, and whatever way it goes, I think I think it's exciting either way. I know a lot of people, especially on the East Coast, were um, pumped that this is coming their way, and I mean, again, who wouldn't be, right? And it's only fair, and it's only uh, logical that something like that is going to be taking place in West Virginia, and I couldn't be happier for those folks, honestly.
Yeah, I'm happy that the event has gotten to a place where we can bring all of the fun magic that we do out to another popular place within Fallout,
Mhm,
even if it's an area that most people game wise are not going to be too like super deep in themselves. Like
mhm,
I know speaking for me, I to this day I'm still not the biggest 76 fan. I play it on and off and I
mhm,
do have fun with it here and there.
mhm,
I I think it's mainly not to get sidetracked. It was mainly due to like how the launch was, and I was there for a lot of that early BS. So
mhm,
I guess I'm still kind of reeling from that. But in terms of an event, it's more so the magic that is brought out to these
mhm,
folks that get to live there and actually experience it themselves, and they can now have a claim to fame of we have our own Fallout event.
mhm.
And I guess technically speaking, they got two Fallout events. So West Coast is we got to catch up. East Coast is beating us right now. We just gave them another layup. We
Right.
gotta do something.
Well, hey, I mean, if anything like this, like you said, could be a learning opportunity. We're gonna learn from one another, and you never know what the next big thing is gonna um, present us with. So, uh, man, I'm just so excited for.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
me
what
too.
what a time to be alive, to be a Fallout fan, right? I mean, with everything that's going on, Good Springs, being in such a good place, West Virginia, happening in a few short months. We're getting season 2 of a kick-ass show, and oh man, it's just
Yeah, and
it's just so crazy. And on that, another avenue, at least for me, and for the group that that we have going on, the Wild Wastelanders Market, is collectibles. And a lot of us are avid collectors. Some of us are, brand new. Some of us are seasoned. Where do you stand in that aspect? Are you a huge Fallout collector?
so in terms of Fallout itself, I can't say that I'm the biggest collector, but to
Hmm.
be fair, it's not as if I knew there was a lot that I wanted from the series. I
Hmm.
was mainly more interested in playing the games when growing up.
Hmm.
And as the years went on, I started getting items both official and fan made. I know I have actually have it right here. I
Hmm.
can grab it. This
Drum
one
roll.
and so I actually have the Soothing Sounds of the Apocalypse. Like I bought that when it
Oh, the
came out,
vinyl.
and it's the
Nice.
blue vinyl record.
Awesome.
And then so this one is actually special. So I think there's only 3 people that have this, and
Oh
this is a
wow.
gift from Liver actually.
An
So
exclusive.
do you remember last year's event when we released the vinyl record?
Hmm.
Where we had like bands come in and like TKS Mantis and
Hmm.
everyone would sing songs from Fallout.
Yeah.
So not only do I own that official record, Old Man Liver and his wife and a bunch of people in the community and my family got together and planned this little surprise for me and gave me
Oh
a
wow,
signed
look at
copy
that.
from all of them, from the staff of the Pioneer and all of my friends and family, the
Wow.
test copy of that vinyl.
That's
So there's
awesome.
only a few of these that exist, and this was straight from Liver and his wife. They wrote me a nice card, and I know
That's
he
awesome.
has one of them.
Mhm.
I don't know who has the other ones, but this is probably like my most valued Fallout collectible
Right.
because it's from people that not only gave me a chance to be more than what I am within a community
Mhm.
as a whole and give me a platform and allowed me to bring what I do to a wider audience, but brought together people that I've grown up with for all my life that I love that were never big nerds themselves and
Mhm.
they always were worried like they never understood like cosplay and deeper
Right.
machinations like gaming and D&D, but them getting to come out to because I brought them
Mhm.
um to Good Springs to celebrate one of my birthdays, and they got to see like all the people that came out and the saloon owner coming out to say nice words, and we did a little roast of yours truly. So because it's not a party unless you guys get to brag on me. I prefer that, but it opened the eyes of like my family that this series, among a lot of other things, means a lot to me, and that there are people that I mean a lot to because of what I do.
Mhm.
So this is valued to me above all else because it just reminds me that you know you've gotten to where you're at because of amazing people like Old Man Liver
Mhm.
and a lot of the people in the cosplay community. And
Right
there's more
on.
stuff I own.
Mhm.
I know I have the Sunset Sarsaparilla that Joan Soda brought out this year. I own
Nice.
some of the soda plates.
Mhm.
I have the official Pit Boy as a gift from the Wand Company, which was really cool. I
Oh, wow.
have the Fallout 4 one, which I bought.
Mhm.
And everything else I have is either a gift from friends or made. I have Salt Upon Wounds Power Fist, which was
Oh,
made by the
nice.
same person who made the Gauss rifle.
Mhm.
The helmets were from Enclave Hellfire.
Oh,
So
wow.
shout out to them because they are the main reason I upgraded my kits in the first place.
Uh-huh.
Most of my Ranger kits come from Zapit Prop. So
Oh,
it's
yeah,
because of
he's
a lot of
great.
people I know that I have like all this like Fallout gear.
Mhm.
But I guess the only other thing I own that no one else has, which is actually a terrible segue into me hosting an event every year in the summer in May. Me and my friends get together and we ask Old Man Liver if we can get about 3 to 4 cases of the saloon's own sarsaparillas.
Uh-huh.
We will pick an artist from the community that we're friends with, and we'll have them draw up a design.
Uh-huh.
And that design gets put on the sarsaparillas, and we give those out at an event called Fanime out in San Jose, California.
Right
So
on.
this was last year's design for
Well, there you go.
2025. And
That's
then if you
awesome.
notice, it has liver on the front, and then it has my friend Zell. If you know cosplay Kim B, he's
Mhm.
on there. My friend Wave cosplay, and yours truly is Randall Clark.
There you go.
He's a little darker, but we needed to ensure people understand, you know.
That is
But
awesome.
that's something that I give out to the community, so that's more of a collectible for all of you out there. I want to give things to the wider community at large that not only opens doors for artists, because
Mhm.
I believe artists deserve a lot more than what they get, because there's a lot of them that go unnoticed, and I believe that's such horseshit because they're
Mhm.
really talented.
Mhm.
And I
Oh, tell me
also
about it.
believe that if you're going to collect something, not only should it have something unique that you're only going to get one of,
Mhm.
that you could collect in a series of them because it's going to be different every year.
Mhm.
You can also taste it. So
Right.
giving out tasteful art, I would say, is my second most valued collectible because I get to come up with the idea of like, okay, who are we picking and what is the prerequisites? Like, what do we want them to do for it?
Right on.
And then they get to surprise me when they make it because I don't get to see it till it's done.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
it's like a
Uh,
little surprise for me.
right. And man, I mean, it just goes to show you that the community involved in collecting is such a warm one, and I can definitely attest to it. Not because I'm an admin in one of the groups, but it's just like many others, I was brought on, right? Like I wasn't there uh at its inception, but I was brought on board, months after it happened. And I'm talking about the Wild Wasteland Fallout Market on Facebook. That was funded by Spencer, aka Mr. Wild Wasteland. It is such a wholesome collective of people that take care of each other and take care of the members within the group. And I can now say that we're officially over 4,000 members in that Facebook group,
Nice.
and it's just it's crazy how and I've said it multiple times on multiple episodes of this podcast. It is only possible through the hard work and dedication of all of these admins. Yeah, but like the number one thing that we strive to do within the group is to take care of its members, right? And like we do it, by means of giveaways, by being engaged, in the conversations that people might have. We constantly, try to spark up new conversations, and because being primarily collectible oriented, we give people the proper tools to we point them in the right direction where to collect certain things. We also give them the opportunity to either buy or sell certain collectibles, so it gets more accessible to people that might have missed out on a lot of things, or if because me myself, I didn't really start collecting official collectibles until what, like last year. I had never bought a thing from Bethesda Gear Store before that, so it was mostly just kind of locating these things in the wild, in the 99-cent store or Target or whatever. So that was where the majority of my collectibles came from. But like ever since I've been a part of this group, it's just it it rekindled the hope that there is a whole bunch of kind-hearted people out there, people that don't seek conflict or anything, and are generally so uh so nice and wholesome, and they want to help out other people to have certain things, and it's just it's such a nurtured collective of people that, like, it just goes hand in hand with where, Fallout is in terms of community, and, I just couldn't be happier.
I'm right there with you. It's the amount of like cool things I've been introduced to in terms of like the collection scene for
Mhm,
Fallout is something that I wish I knew about earlier, because
mhm,
just I would have like the artwork and whatnot,
mhm.
which is like easy to get my hands on. But in terms of like vinyl records, cosplay props,
Right.
official merchandise, I wasn't aware of all that I was missing out on,
Mhm.
and
Same.
I just wish that I caught up on it sooner.
Mhm. I agree. I'm totally in the same boat, and that's why groups like these or events that sort of allow you to make those contacts, open up that dialogue with people that you otherwise wouldn't be able to, is so key and so paramount to keep the community so genuine and so kind. And I just I just can't wait to see what more there is, going forward, on the con scene and on the collectible scene. And it's just like I mentioned before, like one of my favorite things is to just engage with all those folks and just have a cool conversation, about Fallout or about anything else. It's kind of like we're having right now, So,
Yeah, just shoot the shit,
yep,
like, this is what it's all about.
yep. I mean, absolutely. Um, so I guess this would be a good idea to kind of, come full circle to that and kind of talk about what it is or what it was that you were doing or where you were at before Fallout.
Like, before Fallout was, like, a thing in my life. Let's see. There's been, like, a lot of, like, nerdy machinations that have shaped me.
Hmm.
Um, Anybody who knows me knows right off the bat 3 of the biggest things that have shaped my life: Berserk,
Hmm.
Evil Dead,
Hmm.
and my number 1 is Spider-Man. I am the biggest Spider-Man fan
Right
that
on.
you will ever meet. I have an original comic of when the Punisher and the Jackal first showed up,
Hmm.
first edition, which sits in my closet nice and pretty. So, and that's going to my kid for his college fund. That's gonna be worth a pretty penny. Um, I've seen all the movies. I've read most of the comic books for that, and I can remember a lot of my favorite arcs. Obviously, everybody loves the Black Suit
Hmm.
symbiote arc because it
Hmm.
leads to Venom, which is one of my many favorite villains. I love the introduction of the Green Goblin.
Hmm.
Um, the Man Spider arc, which was part of the DNA Fiasco part of the comic book run. Ultimate Spider-Man's first run, which, as God, as controversial as it is, I fucking love that design. That's actually one of the few times you see Peter as a kid being Spider-Man, which is nice. And before that, video games that have shaped me. Well, let's see. My first computer game was Doom 2.
All
So
right.
like when it comes to shooters, Doom 2 was like the first thing I ever touched. My first RPG before Fallout was Baldur's Gate 2.
All right.
I played a lot of Warcraft growing up when we ended up actually like being able to buy expansions, and if not, if I had to miss out on some, I would go to a friend's house, play those. Other things that have big impacts on me. I'm a huge Zelda fan. I'm a huge Zelda guy.
All right.
I bought a Switch because it came out on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I met the cast of Breath of the Wild. So I have Zelda Signature, Urbosa's, the King of Hyrule. They signed my Switch. Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario, also signed my Switch along my copy of Odyssey, because obviously I'm a Mario guy. I love Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love Pokemon, actually. Damn it, Nintendo. Donkey Kong guy. A lot of things like that were what shaped me. But outside of the nerdy stuff, things that really kicked into gear for me, which made me who I am now, getting to this point. It's no secret that people who have met me and then they meet my family, that we are polar opposites. Like my family is, it's the one thing we for sure have is like we're a little hood, as expected. That's what we do. But if you meet like my dad and my mom is very well thought out, and she's such a family oriented person, and my dad is very quiet, well reserved into himself. And my sister, as successful as she's been, is forthcoming and smart. And my brother is like a jock, like he's a sports guy and wants to be a firefighter when he grows up. Me, I was none of those things growing up. Like I was into the arts. I loved animation growing up as a child, because not just because it looked fascinating to watch, but the fluidity of how things moved, how things progressed, how certain art styles lead to different visions of visuals. Like I'm a huge Gendy Tartakovsky fan. If anyone knows what that is, obviously Samurai Jack, the Powerpuff Girls, and one of my favorite works of his, Primal, which I love animation to a T. It is a fixation I have to watch something in its full entirety, to see its motion, how it carries weight, and storytelling. I'm big into not just the structure of a story for films and TV. I love breakdowns of things, and going back to Primal, I love subversive storytelling, where nothing is given to you word of mouth. Like I love that show in the sense that you are forced to be quiet and watch, because there's no talking. There's no human dialogue outside of like one episode where they actually speak English. Every episode is nothing but grunts, roars, and just brutal carnage. But it forces you to sit there and look at it. You have to pay attention, take in every detail. The story is given to you through emotional beats, through visual acuity, through the actions on screen, the sweat on the character's brow. Those things that I notice are things that even before that show was a thing, were things I noticed in television, in video games, comic books. Just I love the small details of things, because it's what makes the machine run. It's what allows something to go full sprint. And then there's not much more to really go into without like really diving in, without like doing word soup, other than, I guess I would say, with those fascinations, it all boils down to, they're things that, though I never attempted myself, I could sit down and speak about for hours, because they're things that mean something to me, and I could give details on each specific one. Like Spider-Man is who I want to be to everybody. Someone who has the possible ability to like be more and do more out of selfish gain, but he doesn't. He
Mhm.
picks what's hardest because that's what a real friend would do. That's what a hero would do.
Right.
Someone picks the harder road to inspire you, even if they get nothing out of it, even if it's rough on them and people look at you weird because they don't understand. Or with Evil Dead, it that is a series I love because I love visual and claymation, and I love
Mhm.
practical effects of films, and I love over the top acting, which is I love Bruce Campbell. He's
Mhm.
a huge inspiration to me. I've gotten to meet him one time in my life, and I'll never forget that.
Right
I
on.
actually cosplayed that character for like 6 years. I actually have like 3 chainsaws in my bedroom that I've made throughout the years. Like that is a huge one. So
Mhm.
I guess I guess the real question is, what is Nick outside of like Fallout? What what is he leading up to the post apocalypse? And I guess all it is that I'm just like a lot of you out there. I have a lot of nerdy fascinations. I'm weird as shit. I'm loud as fuck, but that's just me. What you
Right.
see is just me. So there's nothing special. I'm not some guy who hangs out with superstars. I'm not some guy who has a lot of like deep insider knowledge of things that
Not
are
yet.
going to hopefully blow your socks off. I consider myself like all of you. I'm just a
Mhm.
average Joe putting his pants on one leg at a time, slumbling and stumbling through life and enjoying what life throws at him, whether that be the things that have shaped me to now or the things that have happened later in my life that mean more to me than I could say even the Fallout event, that
Mhm.
being my pseudo son Naeus,
Mhm.
who is not even one yet, and I could safely say that that trumps everything that has shaped me because that's made me a better man to this day.
Right.
To have to care for something outside of myself and my
For sure.
fascinations, because you want to be something for someone, and I want to be someone he can look up to, even
Right.
through all my faults.
Yeah, and I mean that's such a great story, and I think that what you just mentioned that I mean you being just an average Joe, uh, I don't think it's average at all, but people love hearing those stories, and like what shapes a person, and I think it's actually a pretty natural outlook, of ourselves, thinking that we're not really all that interesting or whatever, but we're because we like to look up to people and superheroes or whatever, and you always love that hero's journey or whatever, but like what most of us don't even realize that oftentimes we're on a hero's journey of our own, and it's not until you really take a deeper look into yourself and your life and find out that, oh, like I've actually been through a lot, done a lot, might have been luckier than other people, and that's essentially what shapes us, as people or as a human being, and it's just like one of my friends a couple years ago, he really opened my eyes in a ways that I never thought about, but him being a big gamer and RPG fan or whatever, it was like, like every time something goes wrong or it just goes tits up on you, just think of it as a side quest, and I'm like, what the fuck, like it just works, like all of a sudden it just like it clicked something in my head, and I'm like, you know what. And ever since then, like I've been using that analogy, so just like think of your life as a game that you play, every time there's obviously a main quest, whatever that might be, but the pathway to that is not going to be straight. It's going to be convoluted. It's going to have bumps on the road, and it's going to have side quests, because nothing ever goes according to plan. I don't I don't care who you are and what you say. Like if there's a plan, it's going to get fragged at one point in time, you know, or multiple
Yeah,
times. And it's just like just that simple, perspective shift just made a whole bunch of things easier in that very instant. All of a sudden it's just while you still have to deal with it, it's now you have a different outlook on it. You have a different perspective, and it just like like what do you do in the game when it's just not going your way? You keep trying. You keep trying to beat it, right? And so the same thing goes for whatever life, throws at you. And so that's just, ladies and gentlemen, the main outtake of this podcast is think of life as a video game.
Yeah. Even if that means you got to save scum it, you're going to make
Yeah.
it. You break it till you make it, people.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was just such a, and it's so silly if you think about it too, but it just almost fundamentally changed a lot for me when I heard it at that moment, and it was at some sushi place too. Like we were just having dinner, and he just dropped that on me. So
The best knowledge you get comes in the most random or weirdest of places.
mm-hmm,
That is definitely something to live by.
mm-hmm. And it's just it you never expect it, and it tends to be the most valuable, influential, and something that further shapes you. And I think it's great. Um, but you want to know how long we've been talking?
Honestly, I've just been having fun.
I know
I haven't been paying attention.
it's been great. This is going to be the longest episode to date, and I'm absolutely loving it. So for anybody out there, if you made it this far, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It might be if you haven't yet, probably split it into a couple parts, but I just this is such a blessing, and I get to do this and talk to a whole bunch of different people and cosplayers and um artists, and it's just I don't know, it's so much fun, such a blast, no pun intended.
Don't worry, folks. We're not making you crawl after the fallout just yet. Right? You got a couple
Not
more
yet.
years.
Not yet. Hey, I mean, you never know. Maybe this is going to be the radio, that you're going to be hearing in the wasteland, 50 years from now. You never know.
Hey, this is a radio station I could tune into and vibe with. This is fine by me.
Right. But so look, we've name dropped a whole bunch on this show as we kind of discussed all sorts of topics. But if you want to, if you want to give a special shout out to folks that we haven't yet, um, this is your time to do it. Shout out any other projects or anything that you got going on that you haven't mentioned yet. This is your time to do it. Go wild.
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot right now. Oh, shit. Okay, well, let's start with people. I wouldn't be where I'm at today in front of all of you fine wasters out there, ghouls, simps, super mutants, raiders, NCR, Legion, what have you, if it
Mhm.
wasn't for the group of friends I met all those years ago during the first event. So I want to give a special shout out to my friends Alex, who's Wave Cosplay, my buddy Chris, who is Cosplay Kimby. We have Claire from Midwestern Cosplay. We have Kato. Kato, I don't remember your Instagram. I'm sorry. I'll send it to Marty. Don't worry, it's gonna get in there. And my favorite Texan, Walter, who you are like a brother to me. You have proven time and time again that your love for our friend group and the friendship that you and I have is beyond measure. From flying out from Texas with barely any money in your pocket to come to Vegas for my 30th to meet my son meant a lot to me, and you getting to hang out at Thanksgiving with my family and whatnot. It's always great. My best friend Z, also known as Zell, also known as Zell Sketch for any of you on Instagram, who, if you remember, had her speed run at this year's Fallout fan celebration. So you guys should let her know that she did a kick-ass job on that, because I was really proud of her when she did that. She means a lot to me, and for sure without her, I definitely wouldn't have the confidence to be where I'm at now. She is the main reason I feel like I can be in front of all of you guys, because she understands how it is to be a weirdo, but she wears it on her sleeve, and she understands that you need to just let the world look on while you perform. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to do half of the shit I do and say and not regret it. And then obviously all the big people that made me who I am with this event. Old Man Liver, Pops, I always love you. You've opened all the doors for me, and I hope that I can pay it back in full one day. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I intend to pay it forward to you and everyone in Good Springs, the entire staff of the saloon. You guys are like another family, home away from home, and I love all of you. No matter what happens in life, no matter where the road takes us, you guys mean a lot to me. Ben, Erica, and Powderbanger, which is other Alex, you three, obviously, you mean a lot to me too, even if I don't say it a lot. Ben, I say it to you a little too much, so I think you already know. Probably puts me on a watch list. Jesus. Chipmunk, you're like the granddad that I wish I had in my life still. When mine passed, he imparted to me a lot of knowledge, and the best thing you've imparted on me is that you're never too old to enjoy what you love and to put it on display for people, not to put on a show, but just to show that this is who you are. And I'm glad that I met you all those years ago. You are definitely another big inspiration for what I do. And I hope that I can live up to your standard and hopefully make you proud going forward. I definitely never want to disappoint you. If I do, you have free reign to kick my ass. You know, that's a fair trade. Obviously, everybody should check out the Fallout fan celebration, because year 4 was big. Year 5, we're gonna have to top it somehow. So stay tuned with us. We're gonna have a lot of things to come. Maybe some big, maybe some small, but you won't know unless you stick around. Millennium Fandom, y'all should check them out, because if we hear enough love for the pre-vault party, I might do another one. And I think a lot of you would like to have Benny do another one. So let's make that happen. Obviously, the Wasteland Jamboree, because West Virginia needs some love on that front. And I'm hoping a lot of you come out there to hang out with us and have fun over there in Flatwoods. It's going to be a good time. And just a general shout out to everyone who tuned into this and all of you that have given me love and support for what I do at the event and beyond. I love all of you guys. There's no Nick, no Benny, no Randall Clark without any of y'all. And I'm hoping I can continue to put on a show for you guys for years to come. Fanime, I don't know what else to say for Fanime. Just that's my event. If you guys want soda with artwork on it, come out to it. It's in the summer, Memorial Day weekend. Show up. And a special shout out to someone who's too young to remember it now, but I hope one day you'll get to see it when I'm long gone, because we're not long for this world, but our memories live on, and I hope mine lives on with you forever. My son, Naeus Malcolm Wilfredo Shelton. You are the biggest inspiration I have in and out of this and what I do in life, and I'm willing to put aside everything and anything to make sure that you have the life that I never had growing up. So I hope that this event, the community, and everyone at large welcomes you like they welcomed me. And when I'm no longer kicked in, you won't need to worry, because you have an entire wasteland of family to look after you. Just know that Uncle Dad loves you.
All right. Man, what a fantastic shout out. And wow. I mean, heartfelt, and that's who you are. And I'm so honored, and it's been such a pleasure, chatting with you for over 3 hours, and so glad to have you on this podcast. It's been an absolute blast. So for
I
everybody,
was happy to be here.
oh, that's great. It's I mean, it means a lot. It really means a lot. And so for everybody out there, please go follow Nick. On Instagram, it's right there on the screen, but it's Nick Shelton 421 on Instagram. Do you have any other socials that you're like active on besides Instagram, or is that the main place to go
So
to?
that is the main place. I'm not the biggest on social media. Believe it or
Hmm.
not, this is all brand new to me. Like
Hmm.
I've had social for like a while,
Hmm.
but a lot of the being recognized and like people talking to me and the influencers I've gotten to meet and shit. Like this is a new world for me to be a
Hmm.
part of.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe next time I'm on, if I'm ever on here again, I will have another social to share
Oh,
with you
the
guys. But for
door's always
now,
open.
it's just Instagram for now, y'all. But I would be ashamed if y'all followed me without making sure you follow and shout out and share our buddy Marty here. So before you give me
Shucks.
anything, give him his love. If not, I'm gonna find you. I will find you. I will tickle you.
Well, that, much appreciated. It's always appreciated, and like I said earlier, I didn't think I was gonna be anywhere near here, just a few short years ago. So all of this means absolutely everything. So everybody out there, go follow Nick. Go follow every one of the people that he just mentioned and name dropped. They're all amazing creators out there. You'll be glad you did. Go check out the Wild Wastelanders Fallout Market on Facebook, the Wild Wastelanders Market on Instagram. Like I mentioned before, it's such a great community to be a part of. Giveaways, uh, news, everything under the Fallout umbrella that you can possibly want. We have it all. Um, you know, uh, if you're looking for collectibles, we have a whole bunch of discount codes that you can use. It's all there. We routinely rotate, all the discount codes for our admins on a weekly basis on the Facebook, but there are other creators that submitted theirs in the bulletin. So go support your favorite creators, and I'm not just saying to use mine. I'm not even gonna drop mine here. This is from me to you. I'm here to elevate and shout out all of you guys. So this is just me giving you resources and places to have a lot of fun and start talking to people and start finding out more about Fallout cosplay, collecting, and everything else. This episode airs every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, usually every Wednesday, unless there are tech issues like there have been in the past. But we're trying to deliver it to you every Wednesday on YouTube. I am uploading all the episodes on Spotify as well. So I know all of you out there who have been submitting your Spotify end of the year wraps, are fully active on there. So I'm bringing that to you on Spotify as well as Amazon Music. So we're trying to get it to you, in all the avenues possible. Um, Other than that, the only other uh, piece of shameless plug that I will do, because it's not going to me, is I mentioned it on Instagram. I have a whole bunch, well, a whole bunch. I have posters that I've created. They're the Nuka Boy posters, and I want to donate all the 100% of the proceeds to Fallout for Hope, because that is yet another thank you to the community that I just want to pay it forward. So if you want to purchase a poster, shoot me a DM on Instagram, and I will make that available to you. They're 19.99 a pop, plus shipping. For now, mostly US. If you're international, I will try to accommodate you. But just know none of it is going to me. It's going to the children hospital via Fallout for Hope. Um, So I think I've exhausted all the news and information, all the shout outs that I wanted to do. And I guess there's nothing else left to do than to sign off. So that's goodbye from me, Marty, and Nick. All right.
A good one, folks.
All
Happy
right.
holidays.
All right. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. All right, Wasteland. That was Nick Shelton, one of the people that have been there since the beginning, since the days this Fallout fan celebration was called the New Vegas days. He is definitely a pillar in the community and a legend in the cosplay world. And it was an absolute blast to have him on and have this 3 hour chat. We could have gone way longer, but everything good has to come to an end. But you can always catch this episode and all the others every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, either on YouTube or Spotify. We're in the process of getting all of the episodes, the entire backlog onto Spotify. So it's going to be easier for a number of you to tune in and enjoy the podcast in that way. But for now, it's Marty out. Take it easy, y'all.